Everyone possesses their own companion spirit beast. Some people contract ice crystal phoenixes and master the power of ice and snow, becoming ice witches feared by all. Others contract celestial golden scorpions, learning all manner of poisons in the world, and thus becoming deadly poison masters. But the boy who aspires to be a mythical beast master, has a cute and cuddly dragon snake lizard as his contract beast. He thought his path to becoming a beast master was over. Little did he know that after evolving, the dragon snake lizard would become the legendary blue electric saint dragon. It turns out, this is an age of ruin, where beastmasters and their creatures reign supreme. Once, humanity's last bastion, Dusk City, fell to the Forbidden Legion. Even Zulom, humanity's strongest guardian god, perished. Witnessing this, the Most Holy One, spiritual leader of humanity, wept. He knew their world had crumbled. The newly appointed Time Guardian shattered the void and appeared before him. He frankly stated that he would burn his ship with the Time Dragon, to open a time-space tunnel. He would allow the Most Holy One to carry hope, and rewrite humanity's destiny in another era. The Most Holy One shook their head slightly. The Forbidden God has been watching this place. No one can escape. Saying this, he pointed his staff at the ground. Tens of millions of books about the secrets of human dragon. Control ignited with golden light. Finally, they were reforged into a single golden book, suspended in his hand. Let those who don't belong to this era rewrite the fate of humanity. In an instant, the scepter in his hand erupted with boundless power, opening a deep and vast time tunnel. But unexpectedly, the power of the Forbidden God descended, shattering the tunnel. Seeing this, the Holy One and the Guardian of Time initiated a sacrificial ritual. The remaining warriors also burned their bodies at this moment, allowing the fractured space-time passage to fully form, extending towards the end of the endless void. A century later, humankind waged war across the world using beast-riding techniques. A black light gathering place was established. The current lord is an extremely powerful professional beastmaster. He created a special training mechanism for beastmasters. But the beast egg Su Heng holds hasn't hatched yet. Tomorrow is the last day of the 3-year period. He is unwilling to accept that his fate is about to fall. Just then, a golden ray of light shot down from the sky, striking him in the center of his forehead. Already suffering from kidney deficiency, he immediately fell into a deep sleep. Scenes of the ancestral dragon's conquest constantly appeared in his dreams. He wasn't discovered by the guard until the next morning. Without a word, they whipped him across the face. This shows that unofficial beastmasters are not permitted to stay overnight in the castle. Those who violate the curfew will be flogged 20 times. He then raised his whip and lashed out at Su Heng. But unexpectedly, the beast egg in Su Heng's bosom suddenly cracked. The guards broke out in a cold sweat at the sight. This phenomenon indicates that Su Heng has become an official beastmaster. She quickly explained that it was a huge misunderstanding. She immediately summoned a special training officer to verify his beastmaster identity. However, Lu Yu, the chief special training officer, had already arrived. He asked Su Heng to try communicating with the beast egg. Su Heng immediately pressed his face against the eggshell. He transmitted soothing thoughts to the little creature inside. I never expected to hear a gurgling sound suddenly coming from the beast egg. Lu Yu's face was full of surprise at this. Our Black Lantern territory has gained another young beastmaster. He suddenly noticed the scars on Su Heng's face. He asked what happened. Su Heng immediately pointed to the guard who had just whipped him. He hit. Lu Yu's gaze instantly turned cold upon hearing this. He dares to assault a beastmaster. 100 lashes. Send him outside the gathering place to fend for himself. Having said that, he led Su Heng towards the Black Lantern castle. A moment later, the two arrived before the castle lord. Lu Yu briefly recounted Su Heng's situation. Castle Lord Zhou he was somewhat surprised after hearing this. So this kid is the first newcomer of the latter half of this year. Lu Yu nodded slightly. I heard today is the last day of his 3-year term. He was supposed to be executed on the spot. Unexpectedly, he successfully hatched. In any case, this kid's reward can't be small. Zhou he couldn't help but praise him, saying he was able to go to such extremes. Breaking through at the last moment, success. Kid, I give you 2 choices. Since your spirit beast egg is a scaled lizard, I can give you a dragon scale containing the bloodline of a higher-level dragon-type beast. Or, when you're ready to nurture your second spirit beast, you can pick one from my collection. Su Heng pondered briefly before making a decision. Establishing his identity as a beastmaster was more important than anything else. He therefore chose the high-level dragon-type scales that would enhance his potential. Zhou he then offered a slight smile. I'll have someone send the dragon scales this afternoon. I hope you will remain true to your original aspirations, to contribute to the settlement. Su Heng stood at attention upon hearing this, and loudly guaranteed, he would definitely not disappoint the lord of the fortress. Afterwards, Su Heng returned to the slums in the outer district of the settlement. He had barely gotten home when his older sister, Su Qing, grabbed him by the ear and scolded him. She sternly questioned him about where he had been the previous night, since he hadn't returned home. Just then, a knock came at the door. A soldier appeared, carrying dragon scales and money. He respectfully bowed to Su Heng. These are gifts from the castle lord. Please keep them safe, Lord Su-heng. We wish you success in your beast-controlling advancement. Su Qing's face lit up with joy. Her annoying younger brother finally became a beast master. She had even sold their house to cultivate him. Now, she finally saw hope. She then happily went to work to contribute to the household expenses. Meanwhile, Su-heng examined the black box in his hand. He removed the rust-red dragon scales, one by one, but unexpectedly, the scales suddenly emitted a golden light. Like flowing water, it gradually poured into his mind. Deep within his consciousness, an ancient dragon codex suddenly appeared. The codex immediately turned to the page on the transformation of scaled lizards into dragons. It recorded the method for scaled lizards to evolve into dragon snake lizards. Su-heng didn't bother to examine the so-called breaking shell dragon transformation ceremony in detail, but he had heard of the dragon snake lizard. An adult dragon snake lizard is a top-tier dangerous species, easily capable of wiping out an entire small settlement. It's completely different from the intermediate-level dangerous species, the scale lizard, he held in his hand. Therefore, Su-heng was determined to evolve the scaled lizard into a dragon serpent lizard. Perhaps he could then ascend to become the strongest beast master. But he still lacked dragon blood root to perform the shell-breaking dragon transformation ritual. He then went to a herbal medicine store to try his luck. He learned from the shopkeeper that dragon blood root was actually the common purplish-brown root. So I bought a bunch and mashed them into a thick paste. I soaked the beast-controlling egg in it, absorbing the essence of the paste. Then, following the description in the Dragon Classic, I drew a magic array on the ground. In an instant, the array bloomed with incredibly brilliant golden light. The little creature inside the beast egg is becoming increasingly agitated. It shoots out a phantom image of a golden dragon in holy light. The cracks on the eggshell are gradually getting bigger. Su-heng can roughly see the little creature's appearance. His face is filled with surprise. Is this a scaled lizard or a dragon snake lizard? Not until 4 days later did Su-heng arrive at the castle training ground to report. He quickly explained that his 4-day absence from training was unavoidable. Lu Yu immediately became interested. He advised Su-heng to have a reasonable explanation ready. Su-heng then smiled and patted his canvas bag. Come out, little guy. A small, light blue creature climbed onto his shoulder. It let out a low growl at everyone, but those who saw it were filled with fear. Lu Yu immediately recognized it as a top-tier dangerous species, the dragon serpent lizard. He immediately took Su-heng to report the matter to the castle lord. He was equally shocked after hearing this. He didn't expect the first hatching to be a top-tier dangerous species. He ordered Lu Yu to investigate. He wanted to find out who was responsible for making Su-heng's beast-controlling egg, and he notified the administration bureau to deduct 3 months' salary from that person. They mixed the dragon serpent lizard with the scale lizard to make the beast-controlling egg. It almost ended the future of a supremely talented person. Then, he looked at Su-heng kindly. You've suffered these past years, but the bitter ends and the sweet begins. Starting with this dragon serpent lizard, your future will surely be second to none. I personally founded the Master Trainer program for one. To have cultivated a genius like you, I am truly pleased. So I ask you, are you willing to be my disciple? Lu Yu on the side was astonished. The fortress master has only taken in geniuses, and feared taking Su as a disciple. Yet now, he's once again considering taking on a disciple. At this moment, Su-heng finally came to his senses. He quickly and solemnly said, I accept, master. He laughed heartily upon hearing this. Tonight, he summoned all the beast masters in the fortress who didn't have missions to a banquet. Witness the birth of the first genius from the blacklight gathering place, and celebrate my new disciple. The banquet lasted until night. Su-heng and Su Qing, escorted by the castle lord's guards, returned home by carriage, after arranging for his older sister Su Qing to rest early. Its energy talent is naturally not weak. Besides the common vicious assault, the 6 other racial skills of the dragon serpent lizard are Dragon Slumber, which allows for rapid recovery of one's physical energy and injuries in the dragon species, and the racial skills possessed by most lower-level dragon species, namely, Lesser Dragon Power and Lesser Dragon Might, the powerful Earth-type destructive skill, Earth Spear Sacrifice, and also the Earth-type recovery skill, Earth Power Absorption. Finally, there's the extremely powerful Dark-type ability, Malice Breath. It's also the dragon serpent lizard's strongest skill, possessing destructive power nearly equal to that of a lower-level dragon's breath. Until late at night, Su-heng only then skimmed through the information on the cultivation and training of the dragon snake lizard. He glanced it over. He looked at the dragon snake lizard curled up beside him, fast asleep. You will definitely become an exceptionally powerful beastmaster in the future. The words fell. The slumbering dragon snake lizard suddenly grew several inches larger. Su-heng couldn't help but exclaim at this. The growth speed of a dangerous species is truly terrifying. The next morning, he went to the castle to seek Zhou-he's guidance. Zhou-he suggested testing the dragon snake lizard first, to test its innate talent for the 3 elemental energies. Then, smiling, he reached out a hand forward, revealing a ring on his hand emitting a red glow. My main strength is evil type. Su Heng looked at the ring and was startled. This is the summoning artifact that can contain summoned beasts, right? Summoning artifacts can contain summoned creatures of enormous size. Enter the inner space to hibernate. A special item that accelerates physical recovery. Mature beasts are enormously large. Beast masters can't possibly only have one beast. This led to the creation of various styles of beast imprints. At this time, Zhou summoned the Crimson Blood Wolf from the beast imprint. Let me introduce Su Heng. This is a Crimson Blood Wolf, a secondary horror species of innate lineage. Through later cultivation, it has reached the advanced horror species stage of full maturity. It was also my master's main beast in his early years. It's perfect for testing the dragon serpent lizard. Su Heng was drenched in sweat, terrified by the Crimson Dire Wolf. He muttered to himself, "This is what you call, perfectly suitable." Zhou He continued his introduction. This guy is pure evil attribute, a terrifying species combining evil and beast attributes. Bring the dragon snake lizard over here. It'll be fine on its own from now on. The dragon snake lizard trembled all over, looking at the enormous creature before it. Its eyes, filled with a quiet sadness, glanced at its master. Su Heng immediately gave an encouraging smile. Zhou He then gave orders to the Crimson Dire Wolf. Let the little guy learn by using the malice breath. As soon as the words left his mouth, a blood-red orb formed in the Crimson Wolf's mouth. But the next second, Zhou He stopped it. The dragon serpent lizard was now emitting wisps of purple smoke. It was trying to use the malice breath, mimicking the bloodthirsty wolf, but it only let out a small, weak burp. Bo Zhou was quite satisfied, however. The little guy has already begun to grasp the essence of dark energy. That purple smoke is the rudimentary form of its dark breath. Looks like we don't need to test it on the Crimson Blood Wolf. With that, he summoned his second beast, the Earth Crust Platypus. Let it play with the little guy. The dragon snake lizard looked at the monster, which was like a hill in front of it, and cried out. Seeing this, Su Heng quickly persuaded. Using a top-tier horror species for training, isn't that a bit inappropriate? Zhou He pondered for a moment after listening. You're right. He immediately summoned a 10-meter-tall lava tyrant. This is one of my master's main forces. It possesses 4 attributes simultaneously. It's also my master's only dragon-type beast. Su Heng asked with a hint of doubt. Are dragon-type Pokemon rare? Zhou He smiled faintly. Of course they're rare, you brat. You were just lucky to hatch and capture that Draco lizard. Otherwise, a newbie like you wouldn't have gotten to capture it. Many veteran, established beast masters want to subdue a dragon-type beast. These words made Su Heng's heart tremble. He knew that the dragon serpent lizard evolved from the scaled lizard. He absolutely couldn't let anyone know the secret of the ancient dragon codex. At this time, Zhou He gave the magma tyrannosaurus a cold. First, I'll use a little dragon might. Let's see the dragon serpent lizard's endurance. In an instant, a earth-shattering roar erupted from the lava tyrannosaurus's mouth. The fierce dragon might instantly swept across the entire castle. Su Heng felt like he was a small boat. I could be overturned at any moment. Luckily, Zhou He darted forward to support his body. He used psychic energy to create a barrier, blocking the residual dragon's might. But the dragon serpent lizard stood firm amidst the dragon's might, like an ant stubbornly raising its head against a giant. Zhou He was overjoyed at this. He immediately ordered the lava tyrant to increase the pressure. In an instant, the lava tyrant's dragon might increased more than 5-fold. The dragon serpent lizard was now swaying like a straw, on the verge of being blown away. But after 10 minutes, it was still holding on, and it wasn't about to collapse. Instead, it was rooted to the earth like tough grass in a gale. Zhou He saw this scene and his expression changed. Although it was still very weak, this little guy was actually using inferior dragon might. Medium dragon might against a Tyrannosaurus. Such unimaginable dragon-type talent. Whether Kiju can surpass the horror type in the future is unknown. He quickly asked Su Heng if he had used the dragon scales he gave him. Su Heng immediately confessed that he used them as soon as he received them. Zhou He seemed to think of something. It seems this little guy has absorbed all the dragon bloodline from the dragon scales. That's why its dragon-type talent surpasses the other two by so much. Having said that, he handed a small booklet to Su Heng. I've already compiled the training methods and techniques. They've been replicated into this booklet using a mind imprint. It also includes the most suitable basic mental cultivation method for you. While training your pet, never neglect your mental cultivation. Mental strength is the master's own strength. It is also the foundation of controlling pets. Su Heng took the booklet and quickly bowed to express his gratitude. Thank you for your guidance, master. After leaving the castle, Su Heng bought back the old house he had sold years ago. The person across readily agreed when they learned he had become a. Then, before Su Qing got off work, he tidied and cleaned the old house early. Although it could never be restored to its appearance in his memory. But at least one thing is settled. He hadn't had the chance to tell Su Qing the news yet. Su Heng decided to pick her up from work and take her home, to surprise her. But just as he arrived at the road his sister always took home from work, he heard a scream. Su Heng recognized Su Qing's voice. He hurried his pace towards her. Su Qing was surrounded by two large, powerful dogs. Their owner watched from behind with amused interest. He said that if she just played with them tonight, he would call the dogs back. He immediately flew into a rage, playing, "I'll fuck your mother." He picked up the brick in his hand, and with lightning speed, smashed a vicious dog to death. Then, with a serious face, he warned Huang Mao, "Stay away from my sister, you scoundrel. Don't think you can get away with anything just because your father is the plantation overseer." But Huang Mao has always been used to acting like a bully. Seeing his beloved dog beaten to death, he immediately ordered another vicious dog to kill the siblings. Seeing this, Su Heng quickly shielded his sister. However, the vicious dog was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, it lunged forward with its jaws open. But at this critical moment, the slender dragon snake lizard exploded with surprising strength, immediately throwing the vicious dog to the ground. Su Heng was very excited at the sight. "Good boy. Kill him." Hearing its master's command, the monitor lizard tore the vicious dog's neck open. Seeing another beloved dog killed, Huang Mao flew into a rage and pulled out a knife. "Get your knives ready. I'll take responsibility for stabbing him to death." Seeing this, Su Heng immediately ordered the dragon serpent lizard to unleash its dragon might. With a delicate, angry roar, the three blonde-haired men were instantly overwhelmed by the dragon's might. Even though it was only the lowest level of dragon might, the three of them were already trembling with fear. But just then, the guard team noticed the situation here. The guy with the middle parting immediately suggested to Huang Mao, "Why don't we let the guard team arrest this kid?" Huang Mao thought it was a good idea. He was familiar with the guard team in this area. "Once that kid is in the guardhouse, I'll cripple him first. Then I'll do his sister, Su Qing, right in front of him." Huang Mao imagined this, a lewd chuckle escaping his lips, waiting for the guards to arrive. The yellow-haired one immediately cried foul, "Brother Zheng, that bastard killed my two beloved dogs for no reason. The methods were extremely cruel. Quickly arrest him and lock him up." Hearing this, the leading captain didn't bother to investigate the truth. He immediately ordered Su Heng's arrest. Two guards, experienced in such matters, approached with their hands outstretched. But Su Heng suddenly dropped the brick on the ground. This brick killed the dog. "Talk to the brick if you have a problem. You dare act so recklessly, committing assault in broad daylight. I'll teach you a lesson." But at that moment, the dragon serpent lizard suddenly popped its head out. It unleashed a dragon's might upon the two of them. The moment they saw the Beastmaster, they immediately sensed danger. Su Heng took out his Beastmaster token. "Open your goddamn eyes and see what this is." Upon learning of Su Heng's identity as a Beastmaster, the two guards were instantly terrified, their hair standing on end. Even the captain of the guard was startled. They heard that the city lord recently took on a new disciple. Could this be the real culprit? At the thought, he couldn't help but break out in a cold sweat. But he quickly reacted. He drew his pistol and fired a shot into the air. Then he quickly aimed the gun at Huang Mao. "Hua Zhengtian, you're actually colluding with others to unleash dogs in the street. They're completely lawless. Arrest him immediately. Anyone who dares to resist will be shot." This idiot Huang Mao clearly still doesn't understand the gravity of the situation. He immediately started to mention his father's name, but the captain punched him hard in the face. "Does your father, a mere plantation overseer, think he can compare himself to the city lord? Yes, he almost dragged me down with him. Give him a beating." Then he came over with a fawning expression. "Lord Su, thank goodness you acted bravely. Otherwise, who knows how much worse things could have become." Su Heng let out a cold chuckle. "You three are quite efficient in your investigation, aren't you?" To curry favor with Su Heng, he secretly indicated that he wanted to make Huang Mao and the other two pay a heavy price. "I wonder if this will satisfy Lord Su." Su Heng's face darkened upon hearing this. "Whether that guy is dead or not, I'll definitely go find him after I get out." Zheng Jun was suddenly overwhelmed with fear. At the same time, he was grateful for his quick reaction. Su Heng turned his head, his face ashen. "Let's go, sis. She's all right now. Let's go home." Su Qing smiled and nodded. Her younger brother is a big shot now. No one can bully them anymore. However, after the siblings left, Zheng Jun ordered that the three thugs be dumped at the garbage incinerator. "I plan to just take them out." To avoid offending Su Heng, the three of them had to die. Back home, Su Qing was very happy to be able to reclaim the mortgaged old house. "It feels like a dream." Seeing my sister's excited expression, Su Heng felt genuinely happy. After their parents passed away, his sister had always taken care of him. He vowed to make his sister's life better and better. But just then, a knock came from the door. Su Heng opened the door, somewhat surprised. "Who is it?" "Lord Su, you have a remarkably poor memory. I'm the director of the plantation management office." Hearing this, Su Qing also came out. "So it's Director Guo. Is there something you need? I just received news from the guard. Apparently, Hua Ding's son offended Lord Su, so I plan to remove Hua Ding from his supervisory position, and then transfer him to Plantation 30 to work the land. Although it's rife with wild beasts and people often die there, but I believe Hua Ding will certainly be able to adapt with his abilities. I just wonder if Director Su will be satisfied with this arrangement." Su Heng nodded thoughtfully. "You're thoughtful, Director Guo. However, in order to establish a connection with Su Heng, Director Guo also suggested transferring Su Qin to serve as the deputy director. Su Qin felt the request was inappropriate, but under Guo Chuchang's persistent pleading, she readily agreed. Su Heng's mentality gradually changed. It seemed that only by becoming stronger could he enjoy more privileges. He returned to his room. He prepared a large bowl of food for the dragon snake according to the teacher's recipe, but the little guy looked wronged and angry. This was clearly a superior grade recipe for evil-type pets, but why did it only eat 2 bites and stop? Could it be a problem with the ingredients? Maybe. Thinking of this, Su Heng immediately took out the old dragon classic. It turns out that when dragon snake lizards are born, they swallow their eggshells. They don't eat for a long time afterwards. Also, dragon snake lizards are picky eaters and prefer live food. Knowing the problem, Su Heng immediately ran to buy live fish. I'm making food according to the recipe in the ancient dragon scriptures. The little guy really loves it, but this has led to a terrible problem. It's only been 5 days. He only has 1 gold coin left for this month's wages. But Su Heng is relieved that, although I've emptied my purse, my dragon snake lizard has grown from its juvenile stage to its adult stage. If I encounter those 2 vicious dogs again, now my dragon snake lizard doesn't even need to use its skills. It can easily take them down with just 1 claw. Right. Su Heng suddenly remembered what his teacher had said. Once the dragon serpent lizard enters its growth period, go to the castle to find him. But he was somewhat worried. Entering the growth period in just 5 days was too unusual. To protect the secret of the old dragon canon, he decided to reduce the feeding frequency. I plan to see the teacher again in 10 days. 10 days passed quickly. Su Heng arrived at the teacher's castle. He looked at him with some surprise. Haven't seen you in days, kid. You haven't been slacking off, have you? But the moment he saw the dragon serpent lizard, he was instantly dumbfounded. It broke through so fast. Su Heng didn't expect his teacher to react like this. Is the tenfold heaven realm that fast? This sentence immediately irritated Zhou He. Isn't this fast enough? Back then, your teacher spent a whole month just to enter the growth stage. You little rascal, how much faster do you want? Su Heng immediately breathed a sigh of relief. Luckily, I delayed coming for 10 days. Otherwise, I'm afraid it wouldn't pass inspection. However, Zhou He was already very satisfied with this. It seems this dragon serpent lizard's growth talent is also incredibly extraordinary. However, upon learning that the dragon serpent lizard not only had its dragon might awakened, but even its evil breath had also awakened, Zhou He could no longer remain calm. Are you kidding me? In such a short time, how is it possible to hone skills to this level? Of course, this is all thanks to the teacher's excellent guidance. Su Heng secretly rejoiced at this moment. Luckily, I didn't mention the other 4 skills. Otherwise, I'm afraid it won't pass inspection. Sure enough, Zhou He quickly accepted this fact. Although he was a little disheartened, he decided to see the strength of this Longshi lizard. He came to the private training ground inside the castle. Zhou He stated that as long as the Longshi lizard satisfied him, I'll give Su Heng a soul-binding item for keeping his spirit beast. Hearing this, Su Heng's face lit up with excitement. After all, this is a priceless treasure. Immediately after, Zhou He summoned his thick-armored rock bear. He intended to test the mettle of the dragon serpent lizard, another new top-tier terror species. Su Heng and Longshexi were startled. Teacher, how many terrifying type spirit pets do you actually have? Why are they different every time you summon them? Zhou He clasped his hands and laughed heartily. Your master only has a few dozen terrifying type ones. Only about half are at the level of the thick-armored rock bear. Su Heng was speechless. What Versailles is this? With Zhou He's wave of his right hand, the heavily armored rock bear roared in fury. However, after half a month of transformation, the strength of the dragon serpent lizard had risen several levels. Faced with this level of pressure, it could easily withstand it. Zhou He was very satisfied with the sight. Then he called a halt to the thick-armored rock bear's attack, intending to give his disciple a break. He wanted him to try attacking with the malice breath. Su Heng, without hesitation, immediately ordered the dragon snake lizard to use its evil breath. However, this breath attack landed on the opponent, with no effect whatsoever. Hey kid, did you even eat today? Let's have a few more blasts to tickle it. Su Heng, however, revealed a triumphant smile upon hearing this. The next second, the dragon serpent lizard launched 3 consecutive attacks from its mouth. 3 blasts of breath simultaneously hit the same area, and surprisingly broke through the rock bear's defenses. Zhou He clearly hadn't expected this outcome either. Good boy, you've actually developed a technique for your own malevolent breath. I'm very pleased with your performance. This control ring will be yours from now on. Though the space isn't large, it's enough to hold 5 controlled pets. But don't get too excited just yet. Although your skills have developed well, your combat experience is practically 0. Therefore, I plan to send you to the northern defense line. There, you'll frequently have opportunities to fight dangerous species. Originally, outside the entire Heijian gathering place's walls, there are 4 defense lines guarding the city. Each line of defense consists of fortresses and beastmasters, plus powerful thermal weapons. The north and south lines are the most dangerous. Battles occur almost daily. Most of the beast-controlling materials in the city also come from the 4 major defense lines. To prepare for the upcoming garrison, Su Heng advanced his next month's salary. He exchanged most of it for dragon serpent lizard ingredients, and spent 3 days, making them all into preserved food using long-term preservation formulas. Soon he received his appointment letter from the command headquarters. Along the way, he saw many farmlands. The 4 lines of defense were largely established for these plantations. After all, the land area within the city is limited, and the settlement has tens of thousands of people. They consume a massive amount of food every day. Su Heng soon arrived at his destination. When the veteran soldiers on the city wall learned of Su Heng's identity as a beastmaster, they quickly ran down to help carry things. Su Heng expressed his sincere gratitude, but the leading veteran was quite moved. He had never before encountered a beastmaster as unassuming as Su Heng. This was a first. He immediately called all the soldiers in the camp for help. Northern Section, Sentinel Post 7, one of 29 sentinel posts forming the northern defense line. It was reduced to ruins over a decade ago by a terrifying creature, and this will be Su Heng's battleground for the coming period. Night falls. Huang Wen brought Su Heng a bowl of noodles. Su Heng quickly became jovial with the veteran soldiers, seeing them kill countless dangerous species with only conventional weapons. Su Heng was somewhat impressed. Suddenly, a young soldier suggested that he wanted to see Su Heng's beast control skills. However, Huang Wen quickly corrected him. Don't you know any manners? Beast controlling isn't something you can do casually. But before he finished speaking, Su Heng summoned the dragon snake lizard from his beast controlling ring. Everyone was shocked when they saw it. Su Gu, your first spirit beast is a top-tier dangerous species. That's incredible. However, Long Shexi became somewhat angry after hearing this. It immediately unleashed its dragon's might upon him. But seeing this, Su Heng hurriedly stopped it. Don't use your skills on your own people. That's rude. However, everyone who saw what just happened immediately burst into laughter. Night fell. Su Heng came to his room and began to cultivate the mind-tempering method, following the teacher's notes and methods. His mind gradually merged with the environment. But just then, the alarm at the sentry post suddenly sounded. In this age of ancient beast taming, all men must hatch an egg before the age of 18. Then I would lose the right to reproduce offspring. But on the last day of the 3-year deadline, I finally hatched the top-tier dragon serpent lizard, and now it's facing its first battle. Just now, the alarm in the camp suddenly sounded. Su Heng immediately woke up from his spiritual cultivation. He followed the veteran to the city walls. Countless, sickle-armored creatures were attacking the territory. Noticing the crisis, the captain quickly assembled the soldiers to prepare for battle. 3 adult mantises were assigned to the firearms team. Among them, the adult mantis leader will be dealt with by Su Heng. Tasks have been assigned. The battle is imminent, but facing the human soldiers' thermal weapons. The invading, sickle carapace. He actually used his perceptive talent to prepare a bulletproof shield in advance. However, facing such overwhelming firepower, this was destined to be a one-sided massacre. Under the continuous barrage of machine gun fire, the mantis's defenses were quickly shattered. Human snipers had been waiting for a long time. The mantis, having lost its carapace, was killed with 1 shot. Su Heng was shocked by this scene. Although these soldiers weren't beastmasters, they had honed their formidable combat capabilities through countless real battles. Under the soldiers' coordinated efforts, 3 young mantises were quickly eliminated. However, seeing the situation turn unfavorable, the mantis leader began to flee. Such readily available beast control materials couldn't be missed. Su Heng followed the captain. He chased after it in the armored vehicle, a 3,700-degree cool drift. The armored vehicle blocked the mantis leader's path, but Su Heng got out of the vehicle alone. He planned to use this opportunity to test the Long Shexi's combat capabilities. With a command, the dragon snake lizard charged from the ring. However, under the carapace's protection, most of the impact was negated. The mantis wasn't harmed much. Su Heng continued to command. The dragon snake lizard uses chain evil breath. The next second, countless evil attribute energy particles transform into bullets, constantly striking the mantis's carapace. But this mantis is incredibly tough. However, even so, under wave after wave of passive attacks, it was still pierced by the dragon serpent lizard's earth spear. Seeing this violent and exciting scene, the 2 veteran soldiers in the car were instantly stunned. Back at the camp, they recounted this cool scene. He vividly described it to the other soldiers. Even the captain began to admire Su Heng. After all, he was a beastmaster with real combat ability. Unlike those gilded probationary beastmasters before, they were all just show. However, at that moment, a soldier suddenly reported. The command post's motorcade was heading towards Outpost 7. The captain found this very strange. Normally, the military supplies inventory was always done at noon. It was always their turn in the afternoon. But why were they here so early this morning? Suddenly, Su Heng had a guess. Could it be him? Moments later, a man in sunglasses and a center part got out of the car. He was the overall commander of the northern front line, Lu Ling. The captain led the soldiers in a salute. However, Lu Ling bypassed the queue directly. Instead, he came before Su Heng. Su Heng nervously shouted, "Report, Commander." Lu Ling's face instantly darkened at the sound. "Say that again," he said. Then he immediately changed his address. Su Heng had met the third senior brother. The next second, Lu Ling's face instantly turned ashen. It turned out he was the third disciple of City Lord Zhou He. In other words, Su Heng's senior brother. After hearing the news from the staff department, "This time, I came specifically to visit my junior brother." Hearing this, the two veteran soldiers were stunned. They never imagined that Su Heng was actually the City Lord's direct disciple. They also breathed a sigh of relief. Luckily, nothing went wrong during this period, but Lu Ling waved his hand, signaling them to leave. It turned out the teacher had specifically assigned him a task. He was to find time to check on Su Heng's progress. However, when Su Heng released his dragon serpent lizard, it immediately startled Lu Ling. "Wow, junior brother, didn't the teacher say that your dragon snake lizard hasn't hatched for even a month yet?" "It hasn't even been a month. How could it possibly have grown to this extent in just 1 month?" Su Heng immediately feigned ignorance. "A month isn't a short time, though. Senior brother, is there a problem?" Lu Ling couldn't help but twitch the corner of his mouth. No problem. Back then, your senior brother raised one even bigger than yours." Although he said it was no problem, he was already envious to the point of his eyes turning pure white. "Junior brother, follow the master's instructions. I need to test the dragon snake lizard's combat prowess. It just so happens my senior brother also has a dragon-type spirit beast. Let him play with this little guy. Is hard work meaningless in the face of talent?" Yes. A man spent 5 days hatching a dragon from a single egg, breaking the wasteland's 500-year record, crushing 200% of ordinary people, because everyone cracked when they saw him. A month has passed now. He has already challenged senior brother Yan, who has been famous for a long time, and this is his first real battle. Third senior brother Lu Ling sent out his only dragon-type spirit beast, Rhinoceros Earth Dragon. A dangerous species of dual earth and dragon types. Like the dragon serpent lizard, it's one of the top-tier dangerous species. But after 2.5 years of cultivation, the Rhinoceros Earth Dragon has grown to the level of a super dangerous species. And this is only one of my main forces, you see. Su Heng was speechless. Did senior brother learn that skill from the master? However, facing the enormous creature before them, Su Heng and the Longshi lizard both involuntarily gasped. Xiao Jiahua looked at Su Heng with a wronged expression, as if questioning him. "I'm only a month-old baby. Do you have the heart to treat me like this?" Su Heng comforted it by stroking its head. "Senior brother, please be careful. Don't step on my Longshi lizard to death." Lu Ling looked at him with a questioning expression. "I hadn't thought of that." "Don't worry, junior brother. Rhinoceros Horn Earth Dragon knows its limits. It won't bully or hurt this little guy." Su Heng breathed a sigh of relief after hearing this. "Then let's release it, senior brother." Lu Ling didn't stand on ceremony. "Rhinoceros Earth Dragon, crush it." Following the master's order, the Rhinoceros Earth Dragon immediately unleashed a ground stomp. A 10-meter radius instantly collapsed. Su Heng quickly retreated to avoid the attack. Lu Ling, however, used his powerful spiritual energy to levitate in mid-air and evade the attack. Seeing this, Su Heng immediately commanded the dragon serpent lizard to carry him into the air. He then landed safely on the city wall. Immediately afterwards, the dragon serpent lizard returned to the battlefield and continuously used its malice breath. However, for the Rhinoceros Earth Dragon, known for its defense, it's like an itch. Su Heng knew well that the only way for the current Longshi lizard to defeat the Rhinoceros Earth Dragon was to dream. And what he needed to do now was to showcase the Longshi lizard's growth. "It's time to report back to my teacher." Facing the water-releasing Rhinoceros Earth Dragon, the dragon snake lizard utilizes its self-enhanced high-speed movement, constantly dodging and weaving, launching attacks from all angles. Immediately after, it gathers the malignant energy around it. Then, a laser beam hit the Rhinoceros Earth Dragon on its back. This charged attack successfully peeled off a layer of the dragon's hide. Seeing this, Su Heng immediately ordered the dragon serpent lizard to use earth absorption to recover its state. However, the Rhinoceros Earth Dragon, also an earth-type creature, I also possess this racial talent. But while the Rhinoceros Earth Dragon is still recovering, the dragon serpent lizard, dishonorably, preemptively uses a ground spear sacrifice. However, this move was not only ineffective, but also angered the Rhinoceros Earth Dragon. It immediately stomped its foot. The dragon snake lizard was instantly sent flying. Seeing this, Lu Ling couldn't help but laugh loudly. "Junior brother, good tactics. It's a pity my Rhinoceros Horn Earth Dragon ability is at level 9 awakening. Breaking your Earth Spear ritual is too easy." Su Heng soothed the injured dragon snake lizard while expressing his displeasure. Lu Ling awkwardly smiled. Although senior brother bullied the weak, I've already understood the dragon snake lizard's abilities. That's pretty good. I believe the teacher will be very satisfied, too. After the two turned around, Rhinoceros Earth Dragon, like an older brother, gently patted Longshi lizard to show encouragement. Soon after Lu Ling left post 7, he entered There were no heating facilities in the sentry post. The soldiers could only rely on sleeping bags to keep warm. But just then, the alarm sounded again. The soldier on watch duty told everyone that a call had come from sentry post 3. Plantation 25 was invaded by a group of dangerous creatures. Soon, the captain led everyone to provide support. At 4 o'clock in the morning, they arrived at the assembly point. Under the command of the command post, all vehicles formed a wedge formation. The 2 armored vehicles with the strongest firepower served as the tip of the spear, following the superior's instructions. The invaders are a pack of venomous wolves. They need to be eliminated quickly to rescue the trapped personnel. Faced with these beasts, 2 armored vehicles unleashed their firepower without restraint. Utilizing these powerful weapons, the battle immediately became one-sided. But at that moment, an accident happened. With the poison wolf leader letting out a proud roar, tens of thousands of poison wolves began to disperse. Su Heng immediately sensed something was wrong. No good. My spirit beast faced its first life-or-death battle. And the opponent is the ultimate evolved form of the venomous rotting wolf. The ultimate venomous rotting wolf leader. Just now, with the leader's call, tens of thousands of venomous wolves began to attack the army in an organized manner. Su Heng immediately sensed something was wrong. He deduced from the just heard howls that the wolf pack may have evolved an ultimate leader. Sure enough, under the leader's command, the wolf pack began to spread out a certain distance, which greatly reduced the damage caused by human firearms. Su Heng's expression grew serious. With the command of the corrosive wolf leader, the human's advantage was steadily decreasing. However, in a moment, the corrosive wolf leader's eyes emitted a crimson glow. Immediately afterward, it activated its innate skill, wolf smoke. In an instant, countless plumes of black smoke billowed from its mouth. The battlefield was instantly shrouded in smoke. The soldier's vision was obscured by the poisonous fumes. Command immediately ordered the activation of infrared targeting. Everyone remain vigilant, avoid friendly fire. Su Heng knew this couldn't be so simple. He immediately ordered the driver to reverse. The next moment, a huge dark shadow appeared before everyone. It smashed an armored vehicle with one claw. Before the soldiers inside could react, the vehicle was immediately overturned. Immediately afterward, several small wolves surrounded them. Su Heng recognized it as a companion shadow wolf, a special ability belonging to the venomous corrupt wolf leader, and this meant that everyone would be facing 2 leaders. In the blink of an eye, the shadow wolf companion beast charged. With its powerful impact, the car's windows were instantly shattered. The vehicle itself was also knocked several meters away. The captain reacted quickly. He immediately picked up his machine gun and opened fire. The next second, Shadow Wolf, using its powerful jumping ability, instantly leaped above the vehicle. Then, with one claw, it ripped open the vehicle's roof. Su Heng was startled. At this critical moment, he immediately summoned the Dragon Serpent Lizard, and I let the Dragon Serpent Lizard unleash its dragon's might. The Shadow Wolf was instantly awestruck by this dragon's might. Taking this opportunity, the Dragon Serpent Lizard immediately launched a series of vicious breath attacks. Immediately afterward, countless shadow orbs flew like cannonballs. This attack was incredibly effective. Ingliang's head was completely blown to pieces. To minimize soldier casualties, Su Heng requested permission from command to eliminate the poison wolf leader. The commander, witnessing the previous scene, immediately approved the request. Moments later, Su Heng spotted the poison wolf leader. To save the soldier, Su Heng immediately commanded the Dragon Serpent Lizard to charge with a vicious assault. With its speed advantage, the poison wolf leader hadn't reacted. Before being knocked away by the Dragon Serpent Lizard, this attack thoroughly enraged the opponent. Poison Wolf's eyes gradually turned crimson and bloodthirsty. But the rescued soldier didn't notice the danger behind him. Seeing this, Su Heng hurriedly shouted, "Run! Don't just stand there." But before he could finish, a soldier was pierced through the body by a single claw. Seeing this, Su Heng's inner rage ignited. "Damn beast! Dragon Serpent Lizard, use Earth Spear Sacrifice." With a single command, the Dragon Snake Lizard planted its 2 feet on the ground. Instantly, 2 earth spikes shot up from the ground. But the venomous wolf instantly used its skill, Shadow Assault. Thanks to the speed boost from its innate skill, it successfully dodged the Dragon Snake Lizard's Earth Spear Sacrifice. However, Su Heng saw the venomous wolf exiting the convoy's range. Li Bird signaled his teammates to provide suppressing fire. With the continuous firing of 2 streams of bullets, Poison Wolf's movement was instantly blocked. Long Shi seized the opportunity, biting down on the opponent's neck. Then, he unleashed his dragon might again. Feeling the suppression from his bloodline, Du Lang instantly froze in place. The Dragon Serpent Lizard seized the opportunity to accumulate the surrounding malevolent energy, then launched a fatal blow, successfully killing Du Lang. Victory! Su Heng's mood, however, was somewhat low. Seeing this, the captain quickly comforted him, saying, "Without you, the casualties would have been at least several times higher. Look, this scar is from my first support battle. That battle resulted in over 500 casualties. A top-tier danger beast, the Iron Wall Vitra. One punch destroyed an armored vehicle. the crew inside were turned into mincemeat. In the end, it was Lord Chao, the then commander of the Northern Front, who is also your senior brother, Su Gu, who successfully killed that beast, he said. He passed Su Heng a pot of wine. Su Heng, at this moment, no longer blamed himself. At the same time, he understood that only by constantly becoming stronger could he protect the people around him. In this chaotic world, for the next month, Su Heng trained the dragon serpent lizard according to the methods in the Golden Dragon scripture. He was putting the dragon serpent lizard through special training, and the dragon serpent lizard was about to undergo its second evolution. My spirit beast is finally undergoing its second evolution. Following the usual pattern, it was originally just an unremarkable scaled lizard. However, I evolved it into the top-tier dragon serpent lizard. Now, after a month of special training, the dragon serpent lizard has finally undergone its second evolution. Now, the evolved dragon serpent lizard not only has increased in size by tens of times, but its control over energy has also become stronger. The overall effect is a significant improvement, raising it several levels. But just then, Post 7 welcomed a familiar guest. Third senior brother Lu Ling was seen riding a super dangerous species, a heat motion lion. Su Heng, upon seeing this, was instantly filled with envy. I wonder if my Longshi lizard has a riding attribute. But the next moment, Lu Ling charged forward. You're not bad, kid. I heard you made a great contribution in the last support battle. You truly live up to being my junior brother, Lu Ling. Just like last time, Lu Ling came with the teacher's request to check on Su Heng's progress. Alright, junior brother, quickly release your dragon serpent lizard so I can train it. Hearing this, Su Heng scratched his head. Since senior brother requests it, then come out, Longshexi. With a flash of purple light, Longshexi appeared before everyone. However, seeing its size at this moment, Lu Ling was instantly dumbfounded. Whoa, little junior brother, I'm just saying, your dragon snake lizard, how did it grow so fast? It's completely different after just a month. Su Heng chose to continue playing dumb. Maybe each spirit pet has a different constitution. Maybe my little lizard just absorbs nutrients better. Lu Ling was stunned. Is that even human language? At this moment, he was so devastated he felt like he had nothing left to live for. Put the dragon serpent lizard away. No need to test it. As the teacher instructed, once the dragon serpent lizard reaches its mid-growth stage, your northern line training will be declared over. After bidding farewell to your reluctant comrades, Su Heng returned to Blacklight City. The next day, in the Blacklight Gathering training room, City Lord Zhou He Stewart conducted a series of tests on Su Heng. The result is satisfactory. Su Heng was able to withstand my bombardment for 2.5 minutes. It shows he hasn't been slacking off these past few months. Congratulations, City Lord, you've taken on a good disciple. Zhou He was very happy to hear this. He felt even more confident about Su Heng's future arrangements. Su Heng was a little puzzled after hearing this. Arrangement? Is it to go to the outposts further out? No, master plans for you to participate in the 6 Lands Duel Tournament a month from now. It's a competition held annually by the 6 major settlements in a joint effort. Its purpose is to compete for a spot to enter the Blood Forest Relic. As one of the oldest relics, the Blood Forest Relic's outer perimeter is isolated by an energy barrier. Within the relic dwells an extremely terrifying creature. Back then, the 6 major settlements joined forces. Only then did it force a deal with us, promising to allow 3 human beastmasters into the secret realm each year. Although only the outer ruins are open for human exploration, it's still very valuable for a newcomer like you. It's quite valuable. Su Heng was somewhat excited upon hearing this. He aspired to win a spot, but he heard the teacher was going to assign him to Grizzly Forest for special training. Su Heng was startled. It turned out that on the boundless wilderness south of the Blacklight Gathering place, there was a large dark forest. A surprisingly large number of bears live there. Therefore, it's called Grizzly Bear Forest. Because there are quite a few incredibly powerful evolved bears among them, it can be considered one of the well-known dead zones. Su Heng's mind went blank. Old teacher, isn't Grizzly Forest a dead zone? But Zhou He was being mysterious, telling Su Heng, you'll find out then. Back home, Su Heng was already broke. His next paycheck was still more than half a month away. But to ensure the dragon snake lizard's growth rate, food absolutely cannot be lacking. It seems it's time to find a way to make money. Actually, there are many ways for beast tamers to make money. Healing-type spirit beasts can earn money by treating people. Plant-type familiars can increase yields on plantations. This brings in a considerable income. Even water-type and electricity-type familiars can work at hydroelectric power plants. But all these methods are too slow to make money. Perhaps with the help of the Golden Dragon Codex, there might be more efficient ways to make money. The man made medicine from his urine. The rich businesswoman offered him 1 million. She even said it tasted great. It turned out that since the dragon snake lizard evolved, it ate the equivalent of 100 adult human meals every time it ate. Su Heng's wallet was quickly emptied. To earn money to buy food for the Longshi lizard, Su Heng came to the underground black market of Hating City. He originally planned to pick up a bargain with the Golden Dragon Cannon, but after searching for half a day, he found nothing. However, at that moment, a stall owner shouted loudly, "Long-term high-price purchase of black thick fat." Su Heng seemed to have discovered a business opportunity. He came to the stall to ask the boss, "Do you really buy black thick fat?" The boss's eyes lit up upon hearing this. "Yes, high-price purchase." "Hey, kid, you got the goods." Su Heng, of course, didn't have that stuff. "I just wanted to ask what you're buying this stuff for." The bald boss immediately got angry. "You don't have it, and you still dare to make fun of me? What's it to you? Hurry up and leave, you're hindering my business." But Su Heng saw from the accidentally dropped documents that 1 milliliter of black viscous fat costs 83 steel credits. So 1 liter would be 83,000 steel credits. Although this thing is rare, it represents a lucrative business opportunity for Su Heng. According to the Golden Dragon canon, the mucus from a black octopus and black oak resin, mixed at a ratio of 1 to 2, should be refined at high temperature for 75 minutes to produce black viscous resin. However, the natural black viscous tree has long been extinct, but the Dragon canon also records another method. That is, using a mixture of human urine and petroleum as a substitute. After preparing the materials and tools, Su Heng used the dragon snake lizard as labor. The fire in the furnace blazed up instantly. After about 75 minutes, the thick, black grease was refined. Su Heng estimated that this pot alone would contain at least 15 liters. It could probably sell for 1 million steel credits. However, this wasn't the end. In the Blacklight Gathering, there's an institution with an extremely special status. It specializes in researching dangerous creatures and energy anomalies. Su Heng guessed. This organization must be the mastermind behind the mass purchase of black viscous resin. Although this resale will make a huge profit, artificially cultivated black viscous trees are not only few in number, but also grow extremely slowly. If so much black viscous resin floods the market at once, it will definitely attract the attention of those with ulterior motives. To protect the secret of the Golden Dragon Codex, Su Heng planned to find a shop that could handle the goods. He intended to sell it at a discounted price and then quickly leave. He quickly settled on Zibiao. Walking into the Hongfa Trading Company, he poured out all the thick black grease at once. 15 liters, 1 million steel grams. Can you all eat that? The boss broke into a cold sweat upon seeing this. "We can eat it. But where did you get so much?" Su Heng immediately pulled out a dagger and threatened, "Don't ask what you shouldn't." Under Su Heng's amiable-looking expression, the transaction quickly ended. However, Su Heng was very cautious, deciding to use the money after the heat died down. And now, he plans to meet up with his teammates from the special training. Meanwhile, inside the castle, several teammates are discussing Su Heng. The white-haired man, Wang Sun, believes Su Heng only gained the Lord's favor due to luck. This blonde's name is Luo Chong. He's extremely unhappy about Su Heng becoming the captain. Lena leans against a pillar, also looking down on Su Heng. Only Lin Yusin's attitude is different. "Do you dare question the City Lord's decision? Don't even mention it. Even the teachers you asked wouldn't dare to defy City Lord Chen. Besides, its first hatching was already a top-tier dragon snake lizard. Those of us present here can't even produce a single high-level threat species. Isn't that enough to show the difference?" Luo Chong, the blonde-haired man, was very unhappy after hearing this. He was about to retort. But at that moment, Su Heng opened the door and walked in. The man's first hatching was the top-tier dragon snake lizard, but the blonde-haired man called him trash. However, Su Heng only needed one sentence to completely break him. It turned out that as soon as Su Heng entered the hall, he heard his teammates sarcastically saying to him, "Oh ho, isn't this our genius captain?" "Yeah, only one team captain has a spirit beast." Su Heng remained silent after hearing this. At this moment, he also noticed the somewhat awkward atmosphere. Luckily, Lin Yusin took the initiative to break the ice. And Su Heng was also happy to make friends with her. But just then, another piercing sound came. "Amazing. To become a beastmaster in just 2 months. And your first one is a dragon snake lizard, a top-tier danger species." "Wow." Su Heng sneered upon hearing this. "He is indeed a little better than you." Luo Chong, of course, didn't accept this. "Then I'd like to see just how capable you are. Red phosphorus beast, come out. How about that?" Scared, Su Heng observed for a moment, then showed a look of disdain. "Your tamed beast doesn't seem to be a top-tier dangerous species. No way, no way. You wouldn't not have one, would you?" Luo Chong, furious, prepared to attack. But Lena, standing beside him, stopped him. "This is a gathering arranged by the city lord. Luo Chong, think about the consequences." Then, with a disgruntled expression, he put away his spirit beast. "The duel a month later. Just wait and see how I crush you." Su Heng looked completely unconcerned. He just enjoyed watching others break down, and there was nothing they could do to him. With the help of the Golden Dragon Codex, the strength of the dragon serpent lizard was increasing day by day. If he really met Liao in the finals, he doesn't mind slapping them in the face. According to the teacher's plan, we're going to Grizzly Forest for special training tomorrow, and those unruly teammates are probably a test the teacher left for me. I'll just make use of this special training to become the legitimate captain. The next morning, The honor guard responsible for the escort arrived at Su Heng's house. The captain took out a map. The destination of this caravan was Looting Town, located at the edge of the Black Bear Forest. Although the straight-line distance is only 150 kilometers, the route is winding, and it will probably take 2 days to arrive. After explaining this clearly to Su Heng, the convoy officially set off. Along the way, they passed many small settlements, dark and deserted. Night fell. They planned to rest in the small town of Cha Naim. As a beastmaster, Su Heng received a grand welcome in the town. After the rooms were arranged, it was also dinner time. He released the dragon snake lizard. Under the shocked gaze of the guards, the dragon snake lizard devoured hundreds of boxed lunches in one gulp. Then it looked at the two with disdain. A moment later, they invited Su Heng to have a couple of drinks at the bar. But Su Heng planned to find a guide to wander around the town. Just then, a little girl carrying something walked in. "Mr. Su, are you looking for a guide?" Seeing Su Heng and the other's surprised expressions, Lena quickly explained, "Sorry, sir, I didn't mean to eavesdrop. Grandpa arranged for me to deliver some local specialties." Su Heng replied with a kind expression. "Then I appreciate your help." Led by Lena, Su Heng learned about many of Chainam's customs and culture. All the houses here are located on the slopes of Chainam Mountain. Further up is a small castle. That's where the Chainam Town Hall is located. Besides that, Chainam also has an arena. And today, there just happens to be a special beast fight. Su Heng's eyes immediately lit up. It turns out the local town guard frequently captures wild beasts, and the arena uses these beasts to duel, holding events to attract spectators. Today, someone just happened to provide a special beast I've never seen before, and that beast will fight a full-grown tiger. Su Heng was very interested in this. He came to the ticket booth of the arena. The ticket lady joked, "Lena, have you got yourself a boyfriend? Whose handsome little boy is this?" Lena's face instantly flushed red. "Auntie Balra, don't talk nonsense." Then, she pulled Su Heng inside, her face full of anger. As the granddaughter of the town mayor, Lena was very popular. Many people invited Lena to the empty seat beside them. Even the owner of the arena came out to greet her. A rare guest. "Lena, what brings you to Uncle Rad's today?" But Lena, with a proud and aloof expression, said, "Uncle Rad, I'm here accompanying this honored guest. You'd better arrange the best seats for us. Otherwise, I'll tell Grandpa." It was at that moment that Rad suddenly noticed the ring on Su Heng's hand. His attitude immediately became extremely respectful. A brief intermission. With the sounding of the horn, the beast fight is about to begin. First up is a wild tiger over 3 meters in size. Hear the tiger's roar. The atmosphere instantly ignited. Even Lena excitedly raised her small hand. But when it was time for the other beast to appear, the staff member instead brought out a small cage. The iron cage opened with a clang. A small creature, dazed and disoriented, climbed out. A tiger with bloodshot eyes could be seen. It was instantly scared and leaped several meters away. Seeing this comical scene, the audience was amused, but Su Heng alone wore a serious expression. Could this be that thing? The man simply made a casual gesture, but it frightened the tiger demon so badly, its fur stood on end. For its life, it even threw away all dignity and begged for mercy on its knees. It turned out that Su Heng, following Lena, had come to the arena, only to unexpectedly discover a legendary divine beast. According to the dragon canon, there are 4 categories of creatures acknowledged as supremely powerful, collectively known as the 4 divine systems. They are the mysterious, the miraculous event, and the mythical systems. And Su Heng could be certain that this little fellow with the golden mark on its head, it's a mysterious race, the treasure-hunting beast. Although it's almost completely non-aggressive, it possesses an extremely rare treasure-hunting ability. Generally, it only appears in large-scale ruins. To encounter such an opportunity here now, Su Heng naturally wouldn't let it go. Under Lena's guidance, he found Rad, the owner of the arena. However, when Su Heng offered to buy the little creature, he was refused by Rad. Because of the arena's rules, the fight cannot be stopped unless one side loses its fighting capacity. Lena immediately hugged Rad's arm and acted coquettishly. "Please, Uncle Rad." But Rad remained unmoved. After all, his ancestors had never broken this rule. To avoid breaking the rule, Su Heng immediately proposed another solution. Raid was startled. "Lord Su, are you really going to do this?" Moments later, the announcer in the arena announced, "Due to unforeseen circumstances, the beast fight will be terminated." The audience in the stands immediately erupted. They shouted, "Refund! Refund!" But immediately after, Rad announced that he would not only refund the ticket price threefold, but also that the Colosseum would be giving everyone a spectacular match today. The next moment, Su Heng walked out along the spotlight. Seeing this scene, the audience was instantly excited. Everyone thought it would be a silent confrontation, but the moment they saw Su Heng, the wild tiger, swiftly pounced. A mother, upon seeing this, immediately covered her son's eyes. Lena's heart leaped into her throat. But at that moment, Su Heng waved his right hand, instantly summoning the dragon serpent lizard from his spirit ring. Feeling the suppression from the depths of its bloodline, the tiger trembled and began to retreat. The atmosphere on the scene also changed with the appearance of the dragon serpent lizard, reignited. Rad was shocked by this as well, to be able to handle a top-tier danger beast at such a young age. It's a good thing I was polite to him before. Looks like little Lena got lucky this time. Meanwhile, in the arena, at Su Heng's command, the dragon snake lizard immediately unleashed its dragon's might. Feeling the oppressive pressure that made the tiger's breath catch, the tiger immediately threw away its pride, and began to kneel and beg for mercy. But Su Heng didn't take it seriously at all. At this moment, he focused his attention on the treasure beast. He wanted to test its abilities. Su Heng ordered the dragon serpent lizard to charge with a vicious assault. Seeing this terrifying scene, the treasure beast instantly unleashed an astonishing speed. He aimed to push it to its limits. He urged the dragon snake lizard to speed up. Soon, the dragon snake lizard caught up to the treasure beast. It knocked the other down with one kick. Following Su Heng's instructions, the dragon snake lizard unleashed Dragon Might Stage 2, Shockwave. Immediately, the surrounding malevolent energy began to converge. A vortex formed above the arena. Everyone present was shocked by its power. The treasure-hunting beast was so frightened it froze, unable to move. Then the Longshi lizard lifted it before Su Heng. The treasure-hunting beast looked as if it had been sentenced to death. After the battle, he came to the Colosseum office to finalize the deal with Rad. He learned from Rad that this little guy was caught by the tavern owner because he repeatedly stole and drank wine. Then he was sold here. Su Heng was speechless after hearing this. I didn't expect I could be so foolish as to get myself drunk. After returning home, to thank Lena for her help, he promised to bring her some interesting things next time he came over. But back in his room, the treasure-hunting beast looked at him as if he were a ghost. He cried and cried incessantly. He immediately flew into a rage. If you cry again, I'll throw you back into the arena. The little fellow immediately quieted down at these words. Look at his wronged expression. He reached out and poked its cheek. The Golden Dragon Codex doesn't mention what this little guy likes to eat, but he immediately thought of a solution. Forget it. Let's starve it for a few days first. Then it'll eat whatever I feed it. But just then, his control ring automatically emitted a purple light. I finally subdued my second spirit beast. And it is one of the legendary 4 divine beasts, the mysterious treasure-hunting beast. Just now, Su Heng's ring emitted a purple light. He then realized it was the dragon snake lizard's dinner time. Then he poured the prepared food into a basin. The treasure-hunting beast drooled upon seeing it. It originally thought this was food prepared for it, but the next moment, Su Heng, however, summoned the dragon serpent lizard. Seeing the dragon serpent lizard happily devouring its meal with a satisfied expression, the treasure-hunting beast was struck like lightning. Su Heng also noticed the treasure-hunting beast's unusual behavior at this time, seeing it pathetically wiping away tears. Do you want to eat too? Hearing this, the treasure beast immediately nodded. Then, under the dragon serpent lizard's questioning gaze, he dug up 100 bauzi. The treasure beast immediately happily munched away. The dragon serpent lizard was speechless upon seeing this. Wasn't this food prepared for me? After finishing its food, the treasure-hunting beast looked at Su Heng expectantly, indicating it wanted more. He hadn't expected it to like the dragon snake lizard's food. The problem of the treasure-hunting beast's food was thus solved. However, when he turned around, he found a whole basin of food. It was all eaten up by the jealous Longshexi long ago. Su Heng was speechless. Longshexi, if it really can't be helped, you should eat less in the future. Leave some for the treasure-hunting beast too. Long immediately got angry. Is that even human language? Su Heng tapped its head. As the eldest brother, you should act like one. The next morning, Su Heng and Lena bid farewell, and continued towards Rivet Town. But upon entering the town, he immediately sensed a strong industrial atmosphere. Even the air was thick with the smell of coal. Arriving at the town's central administration building, Su Heng learned the town's secret. It turned out that Rivet Town, with its thousands of residents and 100-man guard, was actually a vassal of the Blacklight Gathering. We mainly provide metals and crops, but the mineable minerals in town are located in Grizzly Forest. You know, it's a no-man's land. For ordinary people to mine there is undoubtedly a fantasy, but what shocked Su Heng was, to be precise, it should be the territory of a beast controlled by the teacher. Through this leader, the entire bear group is controlled. He sighed deeply. The teacher's power is far more terrifying than he imagined. Night fell. Su Heng, however, was troubled by something. The treasure beast was the most fatal temptation for every beast master, but when he wanted to make it his beast spirit, the treasure beast seller shook his head worriedly. Forget it, let's eat first. Let's talk after we eat. He could hear the word eat. The dragon snake instantly awoke from its slumber. To establish a spiritual bond with the treasure-hunting beast, Su Heng chose to stay in Rivet Town for 3 days. However, it wasn't that easy. Every time he tried to establish a spiritual bond with it, they will all be bounced back by the treasure beast's consciousness. Even after searching through the ancient dragon canon, I haven't found any relevant records. Generally speaking, there are 2 quick methods for a master to subdue a spirit beast. One is for a powerful master to subdue a lower-level spirit beast, and the other, it's that the pet itself willingly agreed to be tamed by the beast master. But I've tried hundreds of times without success. Su Heng was getting impatient. So he threatened, if you don't become my pet, I'll feed you to the dragon snake lizard right now, understand? But the treasure-hunting beast still refused to cooperate. There was no other way, force wouldn't work, so I had to try a softer approach. So Su Heng racked his brains. Every day, he took the treasure-hunting beast to eat all kinds of delicious food. He even told it bedtime stories every night. Of course, painting a rosy picture was also essential. He promised to give it mountains of treasure from the game. He completely fooled it. The treasure-hunting beast saw Su Heng as an angel. It couldn't wait for him to take it in. But Su Heng is a bit of a scoundrel. To increase the little family's dependence on him, he would make the dragon snake lizard train the treasure-hunting beast every day. Finally, at the critical moment, Su Heng appeared in the form of an angel, and stopped the dragon snake lizard's violence. With the dragon snake lizard looking completely bewildered, he rescued the treasure-hunting beast from its clutches. This instantly boosted the little guy's trust in him. Thus, Su Heng's plan was perfectly executed. It was under the guidance of the treasure-hunting beast that Su Heng actually found the legendary Deformation Divine Stone, which allows a spirit beast to evolve into an extremely mutated dragon species. This is Nuwa's toilet from ancient times. Everyone thought it was just an ordinary toilet, but Su Heng stared at it with shining eyes. Then he even offered 10,000 to buy it. Everyone secretly cursed him for being a fool, but they had no idea. This is a toilet, crafted from the leftover multicolored divine stones used by Nuwa to mend the heavens. Even in this age of taming ancient beasts, it possesses the power to evolve a mere piece of wood into a supreme divine dragon. It turns out that ever since Su Heng subdued the treasure-hunting beast, this little rascal promised to help him find treasure, but the whole morning, he's been chasing after mother butterflies and little dogs. Su Heng was instantly exasperated. You little juvenile pervert. He had no choice but to use his ultimate move again. If I find out you're useless, I'll feed you to the dragons, snakes, and lizards, okay? Hearing this, the treasure-hunting beast immediately activated its treasure-hunting skill. Then it pointed to a place. Su Heng was overjoyed at the sight, but when he turned around, he found it was a rather disreputable bar. He was speechless. Aren't you up to something bad again? The little guy instantly blushed, but under its insistent demands, Su Heng decided to believe it one last time. He walked into the bar. He immediately saw a beautiful woman in a revealing outfit. A waiter quickly approached him, but Su Heng waved his hand. He said he was just browsing and didn't need any service. The waiter couldn't help but mutter to himself, checking out a bar in the middle of the day. Mind your own business. Su Heng quickly found the treasure-hunting beast spoke of. But seeing this dirty, black toilet, his face immediately fell. Are you a treasure-hunting beast or a garbage-picking beast? But the next moment, he suddenly sensed something was wrong. Damn it! Could this be the five-colored evolution spirit stone, recorded in the ancient dragon canon? In this beast-controlling era, every pet evolution is fraught with difficulty, but the five-colored divine stone possesses an almost cheat-like effect. Even a rooster that can't lay eggs can be evolved into a powerful dragon. Su Heng was so moved to tears to obtain such a divine object. He simultaneously promised the treasure-hunting beast a day of freedom from scolding. But just then, the waiter walked over with a disgruntled look. Seeing this, Su Heng directly offered to buy the toilet. The waiter was instantly stunned. Could this guy really be an idiot? Although this toilet was something the boss found in an ancient relic, many big shots have seen it and found it useless. That's why it's been put on display in the shop. Then he waved his hand impatiently. This thing is very valuable, you definitely can't afford it. Su Heng smiled slightly. It's alright, name your price. 10,000. 10,000 gold coins, and this stone is yours. Deal. Having said that, Su Heng immediately threw out 10,000 gold coins. Seeing this, the blonde-haired man gulped. He didn't expect him to be such a fat sheep. He was about to signal his companions for a sneak attack. But Su Heng, with a grim expression, revealed the ring on his hand. The next second, the three immediately apologized respectfully. After settling this matter, Su Heng set off for the Grizzly forest for special training, to the outer perimeter of the forest. Several hours later, the vehicle stopped at the outer edge of Grizzly forest. Crossing this river leads to the inner area. Someone will be waiting to receive Su Heng for the next leg of the journey. Moments later, a tiger suddenly leaped from the forest. It was Hei Kai, the beastmaster stationed at Grizzly forest. Her mount is a high-level, dangerous species, a crimson flame tiger. You're Su Heng, right? I'm Hei Ju. Just call me Sister Ju. Su Heng politely greeted her. To transport food for Su Heng's serpent lizard, she immediately summoned another one. High-level dangerous species, silverback iron-rumped King Kong, because it's still some distance from the base. She invited Su Heng to ride the crimson flame tiger there, but Su Heng refused, because now the dragon serpent lizard is large enough for him to ride. But this was Su Heng's first time trying to ride it. Actually, I was terrified inside, but I had finally made it to the base. Ju enthusiastically invited him to visit her in bed. This was the first time Su Heng had entered a girl's bedroom, but the girl enthusiastically invited him to bed to discuss life. Just now, Su Heng rode the dragon serpent lizard for the first time, but riding and battling are completely different things. Fortunately, after some setbacks, he successfully mastered this skill. Following Ju, he arrived at the gates of the Grizzly Forest base. A moment later, a man opened the door with a complaining expression, but Ju was furious when she saw him. I assigned you to guard Rivet Town. You dare sneak off to the base while Chief Su is away. Even opening a door takes you forever. What good are you? Then he angrily slapped him on the head. Seeing their strange way of getting along, Su Heng felt a little embarrassed. Following that, through Ju's introduction, he learned that there were currently 3 on-duty beast masters in the base. The soldiers who had originally been busy with miscellaneous tasks, but later, unable to endure the harsh environment of Grizzly Forest, they all applied for transfer. Now, all the odd jobs are left to the beast tamers. Among them, Chief Su of the base is tracking a dangerous creature. He set off several days ago, and another beast tamer, Lin Zhen, was originally responsible for your special training. I didn't expect you to arrive a few days late. Su Heng awkwardly scratched his head. Sorry, something delayed me. Ju smiled slightly. It's alright. Let's go. Let's talk in my room first. Su Heng was stunned for a moment upon hearing this. What? Did I hear that wrong? But when he entered Ju's room, he was immediately shocked by the decorations on the wall. Hey, don't just stand there. With Ju's shout, he immediately snapped back to attention. Sister Ju, your decoration style is a little unique. Ju let out a chuckle, covering her mouth and teasingly said, What? You still think this is some young lady's boudoir, and that something will happen between us? Then she patted the seat beside her. Why don't you come up, and have a good discussion about life with Sister Ju? Su Heng was immediately at a loss. Oh, that's not very good. Look at his embarrassed expression. Ju couldn't help but laugh. Alright, I'm just teasing you. Next, I'll explain the contents of the special training to you. The special training in Grizzly Forest is not only to hone combat experience, you can also gain many benefits. Have you ever heard of energy fruits? Su Heng was startled. Could it be that there are energy fruits in the Grizzly Bear Forest? Naturally, the Grizzly Bear Forest is abundant in bear forest fruits, and this is precisely one of the energy fruits we, the Black Lantern Gathering, possess. It's a type of energy fruit. It can not only enhance the strength, physical ability, and endurance attributes of a companion beast, but it is also incredibly beneficial for evil, force, and beast-type companion beasts. It's a huge boon to them, but getting it isn't easy. All the bear power fruits in Grizzly Forest are occupied by bears. Only by using the Grizzly Forest Leader's token, and having your pet challenge the owner of a bear power fruit, can you win one after defeating them. But without the leader's token, once you enter Grizzly Forest, you'll be attacked by a swarm of bears and our resident beast masters. It's a fight to the death. The next morning, led by Lin Zhen, Su Heng officially began his special training in Grizzly Forest. Meanwhile, the dragon serpent lizard is fighting a bear one-on-one. If it wins, it will gain the bear's power fruit. Here it comes. My pet has finally undergone its 3rd evolution. Now, the evolved dragon serpent lizard, not only has its size increased dramatically, reaching 20 meters, but its combat capabilities have also improved by several levels. And all this is thanks to the bear power fruit. Just half a month ago, the dragon serpent lizard challenged a black bear. If the other party accepts the challenge and wins, then it can obtain a bear power fruit. But Su Heng felt it wasn't that easy. After all, every Xiong can sense the opponent's strength. If the opponent is too strong, they definitely won't accept the challenge. Faced with the Xiong roar, the dragon serpent lizard stood still, but the next moment, it revealed a leering, mocking expression. Faced with such provocation, Xiong was instantly enraged. Su Heng was speechless. He didn't expect this guy to have a natural talent for mockery. Soon, the 2 behemoths charged. This also meant that Xiong accepted the Long Shishi's challenge. In that instant, Long Shishi mobilized all its dragon power, and at the moment of the violent collision with Xiong there was a tremendous bang. But the next moment, Xiong unleashed a powerful punch. Long Shishi was instantly sent flying over 10 meters, but before it could react, Xiong pounced again. Lin Zhen, who was watching from the sidelines, was startled. No, something bad's about to happen. He was about to save him, but Su Heng stopped him. Senior brother, don't worry, let's wait and see. My dragon serpent lizard still has a trick up its sleeve. As he expected, the dragon serpent lizard instantly unleashed its dragon might. The next second, Xiong was shocked by this oppressive aura. His whole body stiffening, his movements slowing. But in the blink of an eye, Xiong broke free from the interference. However, when he finally regained his senses and tried to attack again, the Longshi lizard had already used the opportunity to put distance between them. Then it condensed the surrounding evil energy, utilizing its unique aerial advantage, to counterattack Xiong. However, this charged attack failed to pierce Xiong defenses. As a characteristic of beast-type beast masters, every black bear's defense is abnormally strong. Although your dragon snake lizard is quite good, you still need to grow stronger to break through a black bear's defense. That's the effect of the bear power fruit. If the dragon snake lizard wins, it can also obtain the bear power fruit to strengthen its own defense. Su Heng immediately urged Longshexi to give it its all. At this time, on the field, Xiong used Beast's self-healing to recover from his injuries. Meanwhile, Longshexi was gathering a vicious breath attack in its mouth. Immediately afterward, a dark attribute laser beam shot towards the opponent. However, facing this blow, Xiong remained unharmed. It picked up the broken pieces of wood around it, quickly throwing them at the Longshi lizard. For a moment, countless pieces of dead wood flew towards the Longshi lizard. Because of the skill consumption just now, the dragon serpent lizard didn't react in time. Its movement was already blocked by wood. However, when it finally turned around with difficulty, it saw Xiong using his talent skill, Rampage. Its size instantly increased tens of times. Lin Zhen was somewhat surprised by this. This Xiong was actually playing possum. This talent isn't something every Xiong can master. After activation, it can instantly boost its combat power. The Long Shi is no match for it now. It's time to stop the challenge. But Su Heng wasn't planning to give up, because his spiritual world hadn't yet received a distress call from the dragon serpent lizard, so he chose to believe his partner. The scene shifts back to the field. Faced with Xiong powerful strike, the dragon serpent lizard immediately used ambush, double speed, relying on skill-enhanced speed. But going like this, the drake snake lizard wouldn't be able to shake off its opponent. But just then, seeing Xiong rushing towards it at high speed, the drake snake lizard suddenly thought of a way. It put its tail on the ground. In an instant, 2 earth spikes erupted from the ground. Xiong was very fast. Faced with this sudden obstacle, it had no time to dodge and was tripped to the ground. Under the force of its powerful momentum, it tumbled like a ball, unable to stop. Finally, he crashed into a huge tree. Seeing this comical scene, the dragon snake lizard mercilessly mocked the unconscious Xiong Lin Zhen was dumbfounded. Why can't I ever meet such a foolish bear? Then he blew a whistle. He summoned his flying mount, the blood-tail black-crowned eagle, to grab Su Heng, who couldn't fly, and safely deliver him to the ground. At the same time, he released another mount from his beast ring, a lotus-cap grass. As a grass-type healing mount, it could take root in the soil and absorb nutrients. This is also the rule of the Grizzly Forest Challenge. After the challenge, the injured Xiong needs treatment. Su Heng thanked his senior brother upon hearing this. A moment later, Xiong opened his eyes, only to see Long Shi mocking him. It immediately flew into a rage. Just as it was about to get up and fight again, Lin Zhen stopped it. The challenge is over. If you want to fight again, you'll have to add another bear office fruit. Although he was extremely unhappy, Xiong could only sigh in frustration. Seeing the other party leave, Su Heng was very confused. They just left like that. What about Xiong Guo? But Ko Lin Zhen told him, let's go. We'll find out if we follow them. A moment later, the dragon snake lizard followed Xiong to its Xiongli fruit tree. Many crystal-clear Xiongli fruits grew on it. Xiong circled it once. Then, with a displeased face, bit off the smallest one. Finally, to get revenge on the dragon snake lizard, it spat on it. Seeing this, the dragon snake lizard instantly looked disgusted. Whoa, this kid is so vengeful. Seeing the dragon snake lizard successfully disgusted, Xiong showed a triumphant smile. Moments later, Longshexi left Xiong territory. He spat the Xiongli fruit into Su Heng's hand. Seeing Su Heng's puzzled expression, Lin Zhen told him, just eat it. Moreover, once this thing is picked, the mysterious energy inside will begin to dissipate. So the sooner it's eaten, the better the effect. Su Heng immediately told the dragon serpent lizard to open its mouth. But remembering the disgusting scene of Xiong spitting, the dragon serpent lizard proudly turned its head away. Seeing this, Su Heng shouted loudly, what the heck is that expression? This is a good thing. In the end, there was no other way. He had no choice but to rinse it with water. The dragon snake lizard then swallowed it with a satisfied look. Then, to allow the Longshi lizard to better absorb energy, Lin Zhen summoned his 2 main battle spirit pets, the special class danger species, Pundi Rock Net Jiao, and the high class danger species, Owl Lion, and ordered them to stand guard nearby. Su Heng only then realized. So absorbing the bear strength fruit is this troublesome. Thank you for your protection, senior brother. You're welcome, junior brother. The bear strength fruit cannot be preserved. Therefore, after picking it, one must consume and digest it within the dense forest. Without sufficiently powerful spirit beasts to guard, it's best to find some relatively hidden caves. You'll get used to this sort of thing after a few times. Moments later, the dragon serpent lizard slowly opened its eyes. Lin Zhen explained from the side, the mysterious energy of the energy fruit. It will transform organisms, even cells, at an extraordinary speed. This usually causes a stress response in the body. After all, Xiongligua is known for its potent effects. However, before he finished speaking, the Longshi lizard suddenly stood up. It could be seen continuously shedding its skin. Its body grew at a visible speed. After a while, the dragon snake lizard that successfully completed its evolution not only saw a dramatic increase in size, but also in strength, endurance, and physical fitness, completely surpassing adult, ordinary dragon snake lizards. This is a thunder tiger that has evolved to its highest level. A casual strike can unleash the power of heaven and earth's lightning. However, Su Heng is currently being hunted by it. It turns out that not long ago, the dragon serpent lizard, using the energy of the bear power fruit, successfully completed its third evolution. Not only did its size dramatically increase, exceeding 20 meters, but its strength and speed also improved by several levels. If it encountered the black bear from the first day again, the Longshi lizard could now easily crush it. But just then, the Longshi lizard suddenly sensed the black bear's presence. Su Heng, very curious, took the dragon serpent lizard to take a look. However, when he arrived at the scene, he found Xiong He battling an armored wolf. But armored wolves, as intermediate-level danger species, usually live in dark caves and mines, making their appearance in the grizzly bear forest unlikely. Could this be a spirit beast? Sure enough, he quickly discovered a furtive beastmaster nearby. Because the armored wolf couldn't win the battle quickly, he summoned another heavy armored wolf. The heavy armored wolf is an evolution of the armored wolf. Almost the entire body is covered by the steel helmet without any blind spots or weaknesses. Its strength is comparable to a top-tier dangerous species, even stronger than black chrysanthemum's crimson flame tiger. And looking at this armored wolf's size, it's definitely been cultivated to its perfect stage and is in excellent condition. As expected, Xiong He was completely no match for this heavy armor wolf. He was easily defeated after just one exchange. Su Heng and Long Shi watched in stunned silence. The teacher said, He Deng Fort, as a force that has stood firm on the wasteland for hundreds of years, often clashes with opposing forces, and among them is a hostile force that controls a habitat of armored wolves. It's a rich source of riders who can control these armored wolves. Judging by his actions, he's here to steal the bear power fruit. But how is he going to preserve it? Even Black Lantern Fort doesn't have that capability. The preservation technique of Xiongligua. But the next moment, the man suddenly took out a syringe. Immediately afterwards, he sucked a Xiongligua dry. Su Heng was startled. But just then, a scout beast suddenly discovered them. Su Heng, upon seeing this, immediately sensed danger. The next second, the man in black who was stealing the Xiongli fruit, suddenly heard the alarm of the scout beast. He was instantly furious. I didn't expect there was still a little mouse hiding. Damn it, what rotten luck. Then he signaled the heavy armor beast to give chase. A few minutes later, the man in black, riding the heavy armor beast, caught up to the fleeing dragon serpent lizard. Su Heng's face was serious. This person can not only handle heavy armored wolves, but also conceal their identity and enter grizzly forest undetected. This is definitely a big fish. Then he immediately took out his radio. Emergency. Poacher spotted, request immediate backup. But before he could finish, the walkie-talkie suddenly died. Su Heng was immediately frustrated, but he quickly recovered himself. He steeled his heart. Damn it, I'll risk my life to get this message out. But just then, the treasure-hunting beast warned him that the pursuers were closing in. Meanwhile, seeing the dragon serpent lizard so close, the man in black immediately ordered the heavy armor wolf to activate its skill. Catch and kill that little rat and his trashy spirit beast. The heavily armored wolf immediately stopped. Immediately afterwards, it unleashed its level 5 awakened ability, Dark Type, Black Line Impact. The next moment, a dark shadow accompanied by a tremendous tearing sound, racing towards Su Heng. He was about to be caught. Su Heng immediately ordered the dragon serpent lizard to use vicious assault, second speed. At the same time, he told it to run towards the area with more trees. With a roar from the dragon serpent lizard, its wings began to beat rapidly. Although the speed boost of the double speed isn't as good as the opponent's straight black line attack, double speed does have one advantage. It allows for directional changes during acceleration. As he expected, he entered the giant tree forest. The heavily armored beast, charging recklessly, was stopped by the trees one after another. Its speed quickly slowed down. Seeing this, the man in black cursed. He then summoned another spirit beast, the lightning tiger, a special class danger species, a fusion of lightning, beast, and light elements. The lightning tiger is not only extremely fast, but also very agile. It's perfectly suited for jungle travel. Immediately, he jumped onto the lightning tiger's back, and ordered it to chase after the dragon snake lizard ahead. Quickly, the lightning tiger was like a flash of lightning, catching up. The heavily armored wolf followed closely behind. The next moment, the electric tiger leaped rapidly. Its right paw gathered a ball of electrical energy and struck. Although the dragon snake lizard reacted quickly, it was still injured by the blow. Su Heng's face grew increasingly grim. This top-grade electric lightning tiger is definitely in its final evolution stage. At this rate, even if he isn't caught, he'll still be riddled with holes. Suddenly, he had an idea. Treasure beast, take us to the nearby territory of the black-headed bear leader. Following the treasure beast's guidance, the dragon serpent lizard immediately sped towards the indicated direction. Su Heng withdrew the treasure beast into his spirit ring. He immediately had the dragon serpent lizard greet the opponent with a ground spear sacrifice. The next moment, obstacles blocked the path before the men in black. Seeing this, he immediately ordered the heavily armored wolves to clear the way, but Su Heng had already achieved his goal. After this delay of a few seconds, he had already left the men in black far behind. When Dian Guanghu accelerated to pursue again, he found that he had lost Su Heng. The men in black immediately ordered a search for Su Heng. Dian Guanghu obeyed. He immediately used his sense of smell to search for Su Heng's scent, but the next moment, it was so frightened, its hair stood on end, looking at the shivering electric tiger. The man in black was somewhat puzzled, but the next second, he too broke out in a cold sweat. He saw that in the cave ahead, he actually revealed a pair of ferocious eyes. My spirit beast only hatched 3 months ago, but it has already evolved 3 times. It broke through from the juvenile stage to the growth stage, growing from 30 centimeters to 2 meters in size, and then it broke through from the growth stage to the mid-stage. Its size has exploded from 2 meters to 7 meters. Now, entering its late growth stage, it has made a phenomenal leap, breaking through to 20 meters. But now it must face alone 3 terrifying adult dire beasts. Steel armor wolves, clad in iron armor. Lightning tiger, master of the power of thunder. And White Mountain Master, renowned for his strength. It turns out Su Heng, guided by the treasure-hunting beast, had led the poachers to the lair of the Xionghe leader. The next moment, the Xionghe leader lunged at the poachers in a furious rage. Seeing this, he was startled. He couldn't possibly handle a leader of this level. He immediately signaled Lightning Tiger to flee. On the other hand, hearing the commotion from the woods, Su Heng breathed a sigh of relief. The Grizzly leader can order the tribe to attack fiercely, without the teacher's token. Even if the man in black is strong, he can't stop the entire Grizzly forest's bear population. But to prevent more bear power fruits from being stolen, he needs to hurry back to base. Tell senior brother about the situation here. But the next moment, a laser suddenly fired towards them. Su Heng was startled. Luckily, the speed of the dragon serpent lizard had greatly improved. After successfully dodging the attack, it landed on a giant tree. Seeing this, the man in black sneered. What a pity, you little bastard actually dodged it. He was somewhat incredulous. He hadn't expected him to be able to find him even like this. But the man in black just mockingly shrugged. Useless little mouse. My lord's electric tiger has activated the fixed star ray skill. Even if you run 100 miles away, I can still find you. Su Heng's expression froze. Now I'm in trouble. It's actually a tracking skill. The man in black muttered to himself. Let the Xionghe leader hold me off. Then I'll try to escape and get reinforcements. It's certainly a clever tactic. But you should know, for someone of my level as a beastmaster, luring away a self-obsessed black bear is incredibly easy. After all, I'm unlike you. You only have a trashy scaled lizard as your beast. Then, the man in black ordered the electric flash tiger to kill him. The moment the words left his mouth, the lightning tiger pounced on Su Heng. But the next second, the lightning tiger suddenly stopped. Its body trembled uncontrollably. It turned out that the dragon serpent lizard had unleashed its dragon might in that instant. Before the other party could react, Su Heng pulled out a smoke grenade. With a loud bang, the scene was instantly filled with smoke. Taking this opportunity, he immediately ordered Longshexi to make a run for it. And this is their last chance. After the black smoke clears, the man in black sneered. Heh, still trying to run? Let's see how I torture you. Lightning tiger, use my electricity skills to catch up. Moments later, watching the opponent getting closer and closer, Su Heng instantly broke out in a cold sweat. The next second, the electric tiger swiped its giant claws. But at this critical moment, his control ring suddenly released an energy shield. It instantly repelled the man in black and the electric tiger. Su Heng was distraught. He only then realized that the fire control ring his teacher gave him could also be used for self-defense. But the man in black was utterly shocked. He actually sealed this kind of energy in a magical ring. This ring is considered top tier even among magical artifacts. I don't even have something this good. Just who exactly is this kid? But seeing Su Heng try to run, he immediately summoned another of his main spirit beasts. Special class dangerous species, Baishan Master. Su Heng was already despairing at this moment. Just how many beasts does this old geezer control? This isn't fair. The man in black said with mockery. Little bastard, I don't care who your master is. You're dead today. But the next moment, the dragon snake lizard suddenly stopped. The man in black was momentarily stunned. Why aren't you running? Do you know you're doomed? But Su Heng turned his head with a mischievous grin. Old thing, do you recognize this spirit beast? Seeing this, the man in black secretly felt uneasy. Green Peak Bird. Isn't this Lin Zhen's scouting spirit beast? It was as he had guessed. The next moment, Lin Zhen arrived on a black panther. I'll see who dares to injure my junior brother. The man in black scoffed. You dare stop me? Lin Zhen smiled faintly. I will not only stop you, I will still kill you, you scum from the sinful fire town. Su Heng was somewhat surprised at this. He had heard of this name. The full name of Sinful Fire Town is Sinful Fire Gathering Place. It's also a large gathering place with profound foundations. They've always been Haidianbeo's sworn enemies. And their leader has a deep-seated obsession with a wolf-type territory, so their main summoned beasts are all wolf-type. Back to the arena. The man in black sneered. You've got quite a big mouth, kid. I'm afraid you don't have what it takes. Immediately afterward, he summoned all his main combat spirit beasts. Heavy Armor Wolf. White Mountain Lion. Bloodthirsty Demon Wolf. My little guys, tear him apart. I'd like to see if his mouth will still be so stubborn after he's dead. On the other side, Lin Zhen let out a cold laugh. You'll know if I have the ability once I beat you to death. Come out. Ground-type Rock Python. Moon Shadow Leopard. However, at this moment, it's 3 against 2 on the field. The Heavy Armor Wolf seized the opportunity to attack him. Su Heng quickly reminded his senior brother. But the next moment, a fiery giant appears. He unleashes a powerful punch. And he is the main battle pet of Lin Zhen. Combining poison, martial arts, fire, primal magic, and charm types. A quintuple type special class danger species. Crimson Flame Man. Here it comes. The most explosive battle is here. To crush Lin Zhen, the man in black summons all his main battle type spirit pets. Heavy Armored Wolf. Zi Shan Shi. Bloodthirsty Werewolf. My men, tear him apart. Let's see if he's still so tough after he's dead. On the other side, Lin Zhen sneered. What's the point of all this talk from a dying man? Come out. Disc Ground Rock Python. Taiji Moon Shadow Leopard. However, the current score is 3-2. The Heavy Armor Wolf seized the opportunity to attack him. Su Heng's heart leaped into his throat. But the next moment, a fiery giant appeared, delivering a powerful punch. And it was Lin Zhen's main battle pet. A combination of poison, martial arts, fire, magic, and charm types. A special class danger species with 5 combined elements. Crimson Flame Man. Su Heng was momentarily stunned. Is this the power of a 5-elemental spirit beast? At this moment, on the field, the heavily armored wolf's head, which had been struck, was still burning fiercely. It took a deep breath, using the powerful wind to extinguish the flames. The black-clothed man's face was a little unsightly. Crimson Flame Man, I didn't expect you to have such a rare spirit beast. No wonder you dare to challenge me. Lin Zhen wore a playful expression. If you knew, how could I kill you today? The man in black sneered. A mere Qi Yanhua man wants to kill me. Lin Zhen, don't be so arrogant. Don't forget my Heavy Armor Wolf either. The top tier of special class dangerous species. What can a mere Crimson Flame Man do to me? Heavy Armor Wolf. Black Line Assault. Tear them to shreds. The next moment, a dark shadow lunged at the fiery Inferno Man. However, facing the Heavy Armor Wolf's swift attack, the fiery Inferno Man easily dodged it with his agile movements. Then, utilizing his martial arts talent, in a very short time, he threw 2 consecutive punches. Immediately, the heavily armored wolf was violently flung away. Su Heng gasped in shock at the sight. Senior brother Lin Zhen was terrifyingly powerful. However, the man in black laughed at this moment. What astonishing power. But, you think this will severely damage my armored wolf? After saying that, he mobilized the power of bonds. A red light surrounded his body. The armored wolf activated its second form. Armor-reinforced armor. Lin Zhen, unwilling to be outdone, retaliated. Crimson Flame Man, second form. Immovable King, Solar Flame. Heavy Armor Wolf. Evil Assault, Ultimate Black Line Assault. Crimson Flame Man. Hot-Blooded Fist, Ultimate Martial Arts. Following the master's continuous commands, the heavily armored wolf and the blazing fire man on the battlefield, fearlessly charged towards each other. Powerful skills unleashed powerful energy. At the moment of impact, it exploded instantly. However, when the smoke cleared, it turned out that blazing fire man had won. The heavily armored wolf was seriously injured and could barely stand. The man in black was somewhat surprised. He truly is blazing fire man. He actually mastered 2 level 6 awakened abilities. No wonder he was able to defeat my heavily armored wolf. Immediately after, his ring emitted a red light, summoning another fire-scaled beast. But Lin Zhen laughed after seeing it. What? You think adding this trash will help you deal with me? The black-clad man sneered in response. As long as I hold you off, someone else will come to kill you. He said, darkly. He pulled out a walkie-talkie. I've worn Lin Zhen down to half health. Anyone interested in coming to collect the bounty? Su Heng saw this and became a little anxious. He was just about to call his senior brother for backup, but Lin Zhen told him, I've already notified Chief Su. Now let's see whose people arrive first. I also have another way, but I don't know if you dare. Meanwhile, the man in black, seeing the 2 of them whispering, became uneasy. He immediately ordered the fire-scaled beast to charge and restrain them. Lin Zhen told Su Heng about the plan. I can hold them off for 4 seconds. Then you do this. Immediately afterwards, the Crimson Flame Man uses Heat Motion Fist, Burst Ignition. Countless flames erupted on the field instantly. The men in black knew their opponent was at the end of their rope. He immediately ordered the fire scale beast to use the fire escape technique. But he didn't expect the dragon serpent lizard to have ambushed within the smoke. Taking advantage of his beasts being entangled, Su Heng immediately ordered the dragon serpent lizard to use the malice bullet. He watched the energy ball approach. Despair washed over the man in black. But then, the unexpected happened. A towering beast suddenly appeared, blocking the attack for him. And this was a mature, top-tier, highly dangerous species, the Black King Kong. A moment later, the man in black finally reacted. He sat on the ground, laughing uncontrollably. It seems even heaven is helping me. My men arrived first. You two are finished. Scorpion, take out Lin Zhen, then we retreat. We don't want to be blocked by that dog Su Ku. Scorpion is the bald man before us, and his mount, the scorpion-tailed lion, is also a mature, top-tier, dangerous species. The next moment, the scorpion-tailed lioness whipped 3 poison needles from its tail. The dragon snake lizard couldn't dodge in time and was hit. The poison instantly spread through its flesh. In just a few seconds, the dragon snake lizard's tail broke into several pieces. It was at this very moment that the Black King Kong across from them also launched an attack, targeting Su Heng. Its massive body instantly blotted out the sun. Lin Zhen reacted, instantly startled. In this flash of a moment, the Crimson Flame Man instantly rushed forward to block Su Heng. But the next moment, the Warfoot Black Diamond emitted a bloody light, activating its battle skill, Giant Foot Stomp. The Crimson Flame Man was already at the end of his rope. He couldn't possibly withstand this attack. But just then, another accident occurred. Heiju and Shuiyu arrived in time to save Su Heng, whose life hung in the balance. The two were extremely angry at this moment. You bunch of bastards, do you think we're defenseless just because it's dark? Bald Scorpion was somewhat surprised. Shuiyu, shouldn't you be in Rivet Town? How could you get here so fast? Shuiyu let out a cold laugh upon hearing this. What if I'm not? Aren't you all a bunch of trash? You're going to die. You're all staying here today. But the men in black arrogantly declared, idiots. Since we, your grandpas, dared to come, we were prepared. It was originally a secret weapon I was saving for Su Ku. This time, I'll use it to bury the 4 of you. For beast masters will die. Even your city lord, Zhou He, will feel the pain of losing you 4, Kongpa. Come out, golden-backed iron-armed ape. Next moment, a giant ape, even more ferocious than Black Diamond, appeared. Seeing this sight, several people began to break out in a cold sweat. A fully matured, super dangerous species. This is bad. In the blink of an eye, the golden-backed langur charged instantly, but the next moment, it was sent flying. The poachers, witnessing this, were instantly dumbfounded. Then, they fled in panic. Su Heng remained rooted to the spot. He still didn't know what had happened, but Heiju's face showed delight. It was Chief Su's top asset. So it was this night demon earth dragon that scared Xie Zi and the others away. Shuiyu's face was filled with shock. It truly lives up to its reputation as the strongest super-tier dangerous species under the terror species. It killed the golden-backed iron-armed ape in 2 moves. Feeling this overwhelming aura, Su Heng felt a chill run down his spine. Is this the might of a super-tier dangerous species? Meanwhile, Scorpion and the man in black, mounted on their steeds, were about to escape. But just then, a dazzling blue light suddenly blocked their path. The next moment, several beams of blue energy erupted from it. The man in black couldn't dodge in time. He and the electric tiger were instantly vaporized. Meanwhile, Bald Scorpion seized the opportunity to escape. The newcomer was Chief Su from Grizzly Base. Seeing that everyone was safe, Chief Su nodded in relief. I can't believe these guys actually infiltrated Grizzly Forest while I was away. You little guys worked hard. However, when he looked the other way, he found Lin Zhen's plated rock python cut in 2. He was instantly furious. Who did this? It was the ferocious earth dragons from Zuhuo Town. He fell silent for a moment. Then he let He Kai lead several people back to base to rest. Meanwhile, on the other side, the remaining poachers from Zuhuo Town gathered to discuss. Due to intelligence failure, this operation suffered heavy losses. Several people decided to report back to base before making further plans. But just then, the ground suddenly shook. They were startled. Everyone looked up towards the jungle behind them. They saw Su Ku riding out on a crystal horn dragon. A few hours later, Su Ku returned to the Grizzly Forest base. Except for a few that escaped, most of the invaders had already been eliminated by him. Fortunately, the losses weren't significant this time. Only dozens of bear power fruits were stolen, but nearly 100 black bears were killed or injured. For the entire bear population of Grizzly Forest, this is a considerable blow. However, we're not responsible for the aftermath. Blacklight Fortress will retaliate against Ashfire Town. They will give the Grizzlywood leader an explanation. And for thwarting Ashfire Town's conspiracy, several people received different rewards. Lin Zhen, because he lost a ground web WIRM, will be compensated with one of superior quality, special class dangerous species, young pet. Among the 4, Su Heng contributed the most. Therefore, Su Ko allowed him to choose two things from the base's warehouse, but Su Heng immediately refused. But Su Heng immediately declined. If it weren't for Lin Zhen, he probably wouldn't have survived this time. So he wants to give this reward to senior brother Lin Zhen. Seeing the two of you so harmonious, Su Kahao said magnanimously, "Rest assured, you both will get your share. Lin Zhen's reward and compensation will be decided by the city lord. Don't refuse. Come on, I'll take you to the warehouse now." Su Heng scratched his head. He said he wasn't very convenient today. He wanted to choose tomorrow instead. Coming. My pet finally got its first epic level strengthening. Now, the enhanced Dragon Serpent Lizard can not only fight upright, but has also awakened an ultimate skill. Dragon Might, Dragon Roar Warhammer. It can instantly summon a warhammer weighing tens of thousands of pounds, an invincible weapon. Besides that, Su Heng also found a way to transform the treasure-hunting beast into a dragon. It turned out that Su Heng had rendered great service in the battle at Grizzly Forest. Chief Su rewarded him with the right to choose any two items from the warehouse. He originally intended to give him the reward today, but Su Heng deliberately delayed it until the next day. After all, he is the man who possesses the ancient Dragon Codex. If you want to choose a treasure, it would be a huge loss not to check the dragon canon beforehand. So in this age of the old day beast masters, all beasts contain dragon blood. The higher the dragon bloodline, the greater the potential. And the ultimate evolution of a beast is actually to transform into a dragon. Once I successfully transform into a dragon, I will become the apex predator. However, the path to dragon transformation is fraught with danger. It also requires countless rare treasures and herbs. Only then is there a chance, a 1 in 10,000 chance, of success. Of course, this is only true for ordinary people. For Su Heng, who possesses the ancient Dragon Codex, evolving his pet into a divine dragon shouldn't be too difficult. He just needs to gather enough materials, and he can find in the ancient Dragon Codex a method with a 100% success rate for dragon transformation. There's no need to gamble on a 1 in 10,000 chance. So Su Heng places great importance on the treasure-hunting beast. Once it successfully transforms into a dragon, evolving into the legendary treasure-hunting dragon beast, it can help him find more evolutionary materials. Just like the scaled lizard, the treasure-hunting beast's path to becoming a dragon isn't just one way. Although it has far fewer than the 64 paths of the scaly lizard, it still has 9 paths to becoming a dragon. But 8 of them, treasure-hunting beasts will lose their treasure-hunting abilities after transforming into dragons. Only by evolving it into a treasure-hunting dragon beast will it inherit its treasure-hunting abilities. It can also achieve a qualitative change. Su Heng silently noted down the materials needed to evolve the treasure beast into a treasure dragon beast. He planned to try his luck at the warehouse tomorrow, but after finally waiting until the next morning, he learned that he couldn't enter the warehouse to choose treasures today, because Chief Su unexpectedly discovered traces of the guilty fire town last night. So he set off last night to destroy the convoy. Su Heng felt somewhat helpless, but He Ju seemed somewhat gleeful. "Serves you right for refusing to go yesterday. Now look, you'll have to wait for Chief Su to return for your reward." But just then, Su Heng suddenly noticed the brush in He Ju's hand, the one used to bathe her spirit beast. He instantly thought of a great deal. Seeing Su Heng's mischievous smile, Long Shi immediately understood what he meant. Immediately, the man and beast ran towards the outside of the base. He Ju, left behind, looked completely dumbfounded, but she never imagined that Su Heng had seen her bathing the blazing tiger. He suddenly remembered that the bears in the Grizzly Forest had never received any care, and the ancient Dragon Codex conveniently has a recipe related to Xionghe. Just cater to its preferences, and you can obtain its Xiongban fruit without fighting. Under Su Heng's guidance, they prepared a special recipe from the ancient Dragon Codex, a delicious feast for everyone. Then he treated Xionghe's wounds. Then he bathed Xionghe, letting Xionghe enjoy imperial-level service. But he ultimately reaped a rich harvest. Besides three Xiongli fruits, he also got some rare bird eggs. Everything went down the Longshi lizard's throat, but an unexpected event occurred in the evening. A Xionghe, because the recipe was so delicious, decided to reward the Longshi lizard with a fight. Seeing Xionghe start a fight without a word, the Longshi lizard was instantly enraged. Faced with Xionghe's beast-level energy, the ripping claw, Longshi instinctively used its tail to whip at it. But Su Heng secretly sensed danger, because Longshi's severed tail hadn't yet recovered. Sure enough, Longshi was instantly clamped by Xionghe's sharp claws. Seeing this dangerous scene, coupled with the dragon lizard's injuries, Su Heng shouted for it to surrender immediately. But the dragon character in Dragon Lizard represented its unwavering dragon might. The next moment, Xionghe's eyes glowed crimson. He unleashed a powerful, decisive blow, but the dragon snake lizard suddenly erupted with astonishing power. It successfully withstood the attack. Immediately afterwards, a mass of purple light surged from its chest. At this critical moment, Long Shexi actually comprehended the ultimate talent skill, Dragon Might, Dragon Roar Warhammer. The next second, level 4 awakening. A warhammer weighing tens of thousands of pounds appeared above its head. Su Heng, who was watching from the side, was instantly overjoyed. I actually awakened a talent skill. When Xiong He saw this, he instantly lost all fighting spirit. He immediately ran away, scared stiff. Su Heng was very pleased. He didn't expect the dragon serpent lizard to go to such lengths. He comprehended his ultimate skill in a moment of crisis. This also shows his incredibly high dragon serpent lizard talent, especially in dragon-type abilities. However, at that moment, he had just touched the dragon serpent lizard skin, but the dragon serpent lizard scales, but it fell off like shedding skin. Su Heng was anxious at the sight, but the next second, the dragon snake lizard absorbed the surrounding energy like a vortex. Immediately after, its severed tail grew back, and it successfully completed its 4th evolution. My pet has finally undergone its 4th evolution. Now, the evolved dragon serpent lizard not only surpasses 30 meters in size, but also has developed impressive abdominal muscles. The ridges on its head and scales all over its body are even more dazzling. It has even awakened an ultimate talent skill, Dragon Roar Warhammer. Level 4 activation. Hundreds of tons of an invincible warhammer can be summoned instantly. Just now, Su Heng was stroking the dragon serpent lizard, but the next moment, the scales on the dragon serpent lizard began to fall off continuously. Su Heng was startled by the sight. He still hadn't figured out what was happening, but the next second, the dragon serpent lizard absorbed the malevolent energy like a vortex. Moments later, a sharp tail regrew where its tail had been severed, and the dragon serpent lizard successfully completed its 4th evolution. Not only have the dragon horns on its head grown thicker, but even the scales all over its body are beginning to radiate light. Even the color of the dragon snake lizard has become more profound. Su Heng was stunned for a moment before he reacted. He hugged the dragon snake lizard tightly. That's great. My dragon snake lizard has finally reached full maturity. Meanwhile, in Grizzly Forest, hearing that Su Heng only took 4 months to cultivate the dragon snake lizard to full maturity, he found it hard to believe. Are you sure that's true? Although He Ju was also quite shocked. This was indeed the truth. Lin Zhen is still testing it now. Moments later, Su Ko hurried back to the Grizzly Forest base. He saw Lin Zhen using a measuring tape to measure the Longshi lizard size. He asked again, I heard Su Heng's dragon serpent lizard has reached its full maturity. Lin Zhen nodded. It's been confirmed. It fully meets the standards for full maturity. Su Ko couldn't help but exclaim in admiration. It's truly a case of the younger generation surpassing the older. I, the Fortress Master, only hoped you could break through to the later stages of growth. If all else fails, within a month, we also need to improve the strength of the dragon serpent lizard significantly. But I never expected you to exceed expectations. You truly are a fine son of Hadian. Come on, lad. I promised you last time. I'll take you to the warehouse to pick something out now. And your performance has pleased me very much. I only promised you 2 items. Now I'll give you 1 more as a bonus. A moment later, Su Heng followed Chief Su to the Grizzly Forest base warehouse. His eyes lit up instantly. Can I really pick whatever treasure I want here? Su Ko smiled and waved his hand. Feel free to choose anything inside. Su Heng could no longer contain his excitement after hearing that. Looking at the dazzling expanse of gold before him, he felt his eyes were about to be blinded by the brightness. Is this the Grizzly Forest warehouse? The Grizzly Forest is extremely vast. It includes more than just the forest itself. There are lakes, rivers, valleys, and even mountainous regions. Different regions produce a wide variety of treasures. Since I can only choose 3, my top priority is definitely the materials for the treasure beast's transformation. Then he woke up the treasure beast, which had fallen asleep. Remember the materials I mentioned last night? If you find it in this warehouse, then I'll help you evolve into a treasure-hunting dragon beast. The treasure beast immediately raised its hand, indicating that with me, there will be no accidents. Immediately afterward, it jumped from Su Heng's hand, and plunged into the mountain-like pile of treasures. Actually, Su Heng himself wasn't sure. After all, dragon transformation materials are rare and hard to find. Whether he could find them depended on luck. But the next moment, his pupils dilated gradually. It only took a few seconds. That little treasure-hunting beast actually climbed onto the chest of a goddess statue. Su Heng scolded it angrily. Only then did the treasure-hunting beast calm down. A moment later, Su Ko looked at the thing Su Heng was choosing with some surprise. A large piece of devilish root, a withered phantom flower, and the mud on the drill bit. These are indeed good things, but in his eyes, they weren't particularly precious. He kindly asked Su Heng, are you sure you don't want to change it? But how could Su Heng possibly change it? These are all essential materials for dragon transformation. Look at Su Heng's expression, as if he'd won a treasure. Su Ko found it strange, but could only congratulate him. A few days later, in Rivet Town Square, Su Heng successfully completed the Grizzly Forest training. Now he is about to return to Blacklight Fort. To prevent retaliation from Sin Fire Town, over a dozen armored vehicles were dispatched to escort Su Heng. Meanwhile, in the woods outside Rivet Town, several remnants of the Cinder Town gang received news. that an important person would be heading to Blacklight Fortress today, according to intelligence. This person is the little devil who ruined their plans. Bald Scorpion's face contorted. This time, he absolutely must crush this scurrying rat. Watching the convoy pass through the valley, he silently muttered to himself, I specifically assembled a hunting squad, just so you can also taste the fear of death. Little cultivator, die for my dead brothers. But the next moment, an explosion suddenly came from behind him. When he turned around, he saw Lin Jun walking over with Qi Yanhuanan. He looked at Shiezi with a playful expression. Your two companions have both been killed by Chief Su. As for you, I will deal with you personally. Scorpion Bird finally reacted, realizing he'd been tricked. His face was rather ugly. Despicable, you actually deliberately released information as bait. When it comes to being despicable, we can't compare to you, people of Zuhuo Town. The next second, Shuka rode out on his blue-blooded steed. Do it, Lin Jun. Don't waste words with him. And Lin Jun intended to do just that. Let's settle the old and new scores together. Unless the bald guy changes his name to Saitama. Today will be his death day. In the convoy on the other side, Su Heng stared blankly at the firelight in the woods. But the next moment, Lin Zhen and Su Ku suddenly appeared ahead of the group. Su Heng quickly got out of the car to thank them. Su Ku turned his head and grinned. Let's go. Don't keep the castle lord waiting. It's over, it's over. To ensure Su Heng's lineage continues, his older sister even took the initiative, giving him two of her close friends as girlfriends. It turned out that after Su Heng finished his special training and returned to Black Lantern Fort, his teacher was very satisfied with his performance. He even managed to fully cultivate the dragon serpent lizard in just 1 month. He had made great contributions in the poaching incident in Sinfire Town. Afterwards, he was not only rewarded with a large villa, but also allowed to choose any 3 items from the materials warehouse. Su Heng returned home at night. He had just reached the door when he heard his sister talking to someone. The story of how he was bitten on the butt by a mouse when he was a child. Judging by the sounds, several people were still chatting happily. Su Heng was very curious. Who is my older sister gossiping about me to again? Then, he just opened the door. He hadn't even had time to say hello, but the next moment, a figure rushed over. Su Qing hugged Su Heng tightly, her worry instantly turning into joy. Little Heng, you're finally back. This hug was too tight. The moment Su Heng fell to the ground, he chose to protect his sister's head. I heard from the guards that you encountered an attack on the way. Seeing tears welling up in his sister's eyes, Su Heng quickly comforted her. It's alright, sis. It's all in the past. But when he stood up, he found 2 girls sitting in the room. He questioningly asked Su Qing, Sis, who are these? Your friends. Older sister Su Qing quickly introduced them, saying, These 2 are my colleagues from the plantation. This is Lin Mengwan, and this is Jean Meili. They're both my good friends. Su Heng, hearing this, immediately shyly greeted them. But the next second, he suddenly realized, older sister, you wouldn't. Before he could finish his sentence, Su Qing pulled him around by the arm. You brat, our parents left early. I'll have to worry about you then. Make sure you don't disappoint your older sister later. Settle down and start a family soon. So our parents can rest in peace knowing this. And I've already picked someone out for you. Big breasts, big butt, good for childbearing. They helped arrange tonight's dinner. And as a beast master, you have privileges. It's a good opportunity to marry both of them at once. Besides, beast masters like you are often away from home, so you definitely need a woman at home who can handle things. Su Heng broke out in a cold sweat after hearing that. He never expected his first night home to be a hongmen banquet. He immediately cowered. Older sister, I think I'm a little tired. I want to go back to my room and sleep. Can I not eat? No. Su Qing cut off Su Heng's retreat with a single sentence. Although he refused this blind date in every way possible, he still couldn't go against Su Qing's wishes. Therefore, the atmosphere during the entire dinner was very awkward, until Su Heng pulled out the treasure-hunting beast. This caught the attention of the 3 women. Sure enough, girls have no resistance to cute little animals. But Su Heng relaxed. The treasure-hunting beast, however, was unlucky. The 3 women took turns almost petting it bald. To give Su Heng more space, Su Qing deliberately had him send the 2 girls home. Both girls had very pleasant personalities. They chatted and laughed with Su Heng all the way. They even proactively invited Su Heng to visit their homes. But the next moment, Su Heng suddenly sensed danger. He quickly shielded the 2 girls. Immediately, a dark shadow emerged from the street. A huge rat appeared before the 3 of them. The 2 girls were both startled. Is that a rat? How can something like this be in the gathering place? Su Heng patiently explained. This is a mature, low-level danger species, a ferocious rat. It probably ate the bodies of some beast tamers and mutated. That's why it grew so large. And district rats are social animals. You guys back off first. His voice had just fallen. Several more district rats appeared on the street again. Suddenly, Su Heng smelled a fragrance. He guessed it must be the Magu chicken in Jean Meili's basket. He lured these dangerous creatures over. Then he summoned the dragon serpent lizard. Feeling the suppression from their bloodline, Several ferocious rats trembled with fear, and immediately turned to flee. Su Heng sneered at this sight. Can you outrun a dragon snake lizard? The next second, the dragon snake lizard came roaring like lightning. Several district riot rats hadn't even reacted, when they were mercilessly slaughtered by the dragon snake lizard like chickens. After all, this is a fully grown, top-tier, dangerous species. A moment later, the blacklight guards arrived hurriedly, only to see the scene in utter chaos. He froze. As expected of Master Yu, the 4 ferocious rats were instantly killed. Su Heng gave a few brief instructions. Then he had the guards take these ferocious rats to his castle. The man made perfume from the smelly rats, but the pharmacist planned to sell his son to buy it outright. His son called him a fool, but how could he know? This perfume can create an illusion of a blood connection. Any creature in nature, as long as they use it, will have to acknowledge you as their parent. Especially in this era of beast mastery, beast masters can use this to accelerate the establishment of a spiritual connection with their beasts. Just this alone would make bloodline incense a rare treasure. It turns out that while blind dating 2 girlfriends, due to an accident, Su Heng captured 4 mutated ferocious rats. These were originally disgusting things that not even dogs would eat, but Su Heng considered it a treasure, because the ancient dragon scriptures recorded a formula. Extract blood agarwood from the body of a district riot rat, add some auxiliary materials, and you can make bloodline fragrance. As the name suggests, it's a perfume. This perfume's effect allows different creatures to experience an illusion of near-blood kinship. In this age of ancient beast controlling, beast masters can use this to accelerate the establishment of a spiritual bond with their beasts. Even a novice beast master. It can also be used to quickly subdue spirit beasts. For this reason alone, bloodline incense will definitely become a highly sought-after commodity. But Su Heng showed a trace of doubt. The cost of bloodline incense is extremely low. If this thing really works, he's definitely going to make a killing. To test the effect of the bloodline incense, Su Heng turned his gaze to the treasure-hunting beast. Then he opened the sealed bloodline incense. Instantly, a strange fragrance filled the entire room. Under the influence of the bloodline incense, Su Heng and the treasure beast simultaneously entered a hallucination. He seemed to have become the treasure beast's old father, a fully grown treasure beast, taking his son out treasure hunting every day, finally found a massive treasure mountain. Seeing this, the treasure-hunting beast's eyes went wide with emotion. It was completely overwhelmed with emotion. Moments later, Su Heng returned to reality from the packed realm. He shook his head to clear his mind. Such strange spices. I didn't even realize I fell for it. However, the treasure-hunting beast was still immersed in the illusion. The next moment, it quickly leaped into its old father's arms. Fan Tian Ho, the pharmacy selling the bloodline incense, came to their door. To prepare for the 6-way showdown, he planned to exchange all his bloodline incense for steel. He wanted to quickly boost the strength of the dragon serpent lizard, but because this is a completely new medicine, and each bottle is priced as high as 100,000, sales have been sluggish. But today, Tim mysteriously found him, saying he wanted to buy a large quantity of bloodline incense. But Su Heng made a demand. Payment must be made in person, no credit. But what he didn't expect was that the transaction would go so smoothly. Tim actually had 1 million steel KS ready a long time ago. He's smiling as he holds out the bloodline incense. Sir Su, that settles the deal then. If you have anything new next time, feel free to come find me. After Su Heng left, Tim glared at his son with displeasure. What are you spacing out for? Don't you come and help? His son looked puzzled. Dad, why did you tell him that all the goods were sold? We haven't sold a single bottle. You just made me put them all back on the shelves. We emptied our pockets to buy this many. If we can't sell them, we'll go bankrupt. Tim shook his head. You're still too green, kid. Not to mention novice beast tamers. Even veteran beast tamers use this when taming beasts. Once this gets out, it'll definitely be in short supply. The son questions again. Father, you're not a beast tamer. You don't even know if this thing works or not. Tim immediately slapped him twice. Look at you, so spineless. Do you know who Lord Su is? He's the Lord Castellan's incredibly talented disciple. A top-tier beast master, Guan Fu. He could even invent such items. Such a person. Even if he spent all his fortune, many people would still scramble to make his acquaintance. Why only look at the immediate benefits when doing business? The son was heartbroken. Let's just say, can't you just talk without hitting me? Coming. Su Heng's treasure-hunting beast is finally about to evolve. Just now, Su Heng arrived at the castle lord's treasure vault. According to the reward given to him by his teacher, Zhou he can choose any 3 items inside. Led by the butler, Lin Fu, Su Heng arrived at the treasure vault's door. But the next moment, countless tentacles emerged from the door, immediately tightly wrapping around Lin Fu. And this is a parasitic guardian beast. A mysterious, dual-type guardian. A top-tier dangerous species, the squid croc slave. Innate ability, golden soup of binding. It can reinforce the entire treasure vault's strength. Furthermore, the opener must obtain the fortress lord's verbal promise. Otherwise, you'll be swallowed whole. Su Heng was somewhat surprised. Compared to the previous Grey Bear Forest base treasury, it's not even in the same league. Then Lin Fu gave Su Heng a few instructions. He then entered the treasury alone. Unlike Chief Su's messy treasure trove, the second-floor treasure vault of the Blacklight Gathering resembles a massive library. All the treasures are neatly arranged, and there are many plexiglass boxes emitting a faint glow. Suddenly, Su Heng noticed. There's a reconnaissance-type dangerous species above us, a side-eye monitor. It's constantly watching him. This thing's light and shadow retrospection racial skill can replay what it sees in ultra-high definition. Su Heng was somewhat surprised. Looks like the treasure beast will have to search for treasure remotely through the Ujia this time. Meanwhile, within the Fire Guardian space, the treasure beast activated its treasure-finding skill, exploring the treasure vault through the Guardian Ring. With its help, Su Heng successfully found a high-grade dragon scale and 100 grams of spirit essence. He only needed to find one more floating sky stone. The materials for the treasure beast's transformation into a dragon have been gathered, but strangely, he couldn't find it anywhere. Just then, the treasure beast within the control ring pointed towards the top. But when Su Heng looked up, I found that the things above aren't sky-floating secret stones at all. However, a moment later, Lin Fu looked at the three materials Su Heng had chosen. A high-level dragon scale, and 100 grams of spirit essence. But the next second, he was shocked. Whoa, kid, how did you take down the ceiling? Su Heng looked away guiltily. My toilet just happened to be missing a piece like that. But Lin Fu saw right through him. Stop beating around the bush. This brick contains levitation stone. But levitation stone is a treasure only found on the third floor. Your eyes are sharp, kid. Su Heng smiled. He didn't expect the treasure beast to be so amazing. He can even find treasures hidden in the ceiling. Now all the materials needed for the dragon transformation ceremony are ready. Speaking of the dragon transformation ceremony, but when he saw the contents of the dragon scripture, the method for the transformation was simply one character, eat. Su Heng was immediately amused. I thought it would be as complicated as a dragon, snake, and lizard. It turned out to be so simple and brutal. Just one word. The next second, he lifted the treasure-hunting beast from the sofa. Then he placed it in front of the dragon-transforming materials. The treasure-hunting beast's eyes lit up instantly. Su Heng softly said, "Let's begin the dragon transformation ceremony. Eat them all." A few days later, since Su Heng moved into the villa his teacher gifted him, third senior brother, Lu Ling, often visited him. It turned out that Zhou He, the master of Black Lantern Fort, previously had many disciples, and Su Heng was the newest disciple, the ninth. His senior brothers and sisters all hold important positions in Black Lantern Fort. They can be said to be the core strength of Black Lantern Fort, and they are all extremely powerful beast masters. He is a master with truly rich practical experience. As for this impromptu meeting, it was originally senior sister by Susu and senior sister Chu Na, who were going to discuss the selection of the Wasteland Guards with Lu Ling. But Lu Ling took this opportunity to let Su Heng familiarize himself with the two senior sisters as well. That's why I rashly came to your door. Su Heng poured tea for his senior brothers and sisters. Chu Na picked up her teacup. Susu heard that Master intends for you to form the new human Wasteland Guard. Have you assembled your team members and attendants? Bai Susu sat beside her. Chi Tsong has managed to gather them. However, he's still selecting the final member. Hunting Wasteland Guard. Hearing this name, Su Heng was momentarily stunned. Then, after an introduction from his seventh senior sister, Chu Na, he learned that the Hunting Wasteland Guard is a special group of beast masters in the Black Lantern Gathering Place. It's more than just a Blacklight settlement. Other settlements usually also form Wasteland Guards. Wasteland Guards hunt various dangerous young creatures in the wasteland, and search for and collect various materials and treasures. Each Wasteland Guard in our Blacklight settlement consists of 4 beast masters and 12 attendants. There are currently 7 hunting Wasteland Guards in the entire Heijian Gathering Place. The beast eggs used to select beast masters in our Heijian Gathering Place are all brought back by the hunting Wasteland Guards, so this is a very important organization. Then Rena recommended someone to Bai Susu, a young girl named Lena who became a beast master just 2 years ago, owning a fully matured Iron Devil tree, and a fully matured Sleep Disc. Both are species with decent combat capabilities among intermediate-level dangerous species. Furthermore, we've recently added a high-level dangerous species, the Blood Lion. It's considered a newcomer with good strength and potential. Su Heng was somewhat surprised to hear this. Lena, isn't she my teammate in the 6 regions duel? It seems everyone's working hard. Bai Susu shook her head slightly. Having to protect a newcomer then would be too much of a burden. Hearing this, Lu Ling finally spoke. Susu, how about I recommend a supremely talented newcomer to you? He'll definitely meet your needs. Bai Susu, with a surprised expression, said, okay. But Lu Ling suddenly pointed at Su Heng. Yes, it's him. Susu misunderstood. So it's your junior brother's connections. Come tell your senior sister. I'll share the good stuff I get with you later. Su Heng is so wrong. What connections? The 2 senior sisters only then realized. But Chu Na thought Lu Ling was being reckless. After all, Su Heng only became a 2 or 3 months ago. Sending him to the Wasteland Guard is undoubtedly sending him to his death. But Bai Su Su looked at Su Heng with a surprised and delighted expression. So the super rookie you were talking about is the junior apprentice brother? Lu Ling smiled. That's right. The super rookie I recommended is Su Heng. I wasn't fooling around, Xiao Qi. Don't underestimate the junior apprentice brother, even though he's only been a beast master for 3 months. He only has one spirit beast, but it's a top-tier danger species. And my junior apprentice brother's dragon snake lizard, a month ago, was already in its mid-growth stage when it was tempered at my northern defense line, considering my junior apprentice brother's talent. After the grizzly bear forest trip, aren't we nearing the late growth stage? Lu Lingyue became more and more smug. So, the top-tier dangerous species in the late growth stage. Can they be considered super rookies? Chu Na and Bai Susu were both a little surprised. Then they asked Su Heng to show them the dragon serpent lizard. Immediately afterwards, a purple light emanated from Su Heng's ring, summoning a huge dragon snake lizard before everyone. Seeing this, Lu Ling, who was mentally prepared, couldn't help but exclaim, "Whoa." Meanwhile, Chu Na offered him an olive branch. Little junior brother, I think what you lack most now is practical experience. Why don't you come to my Manners Defense Force? I'll help you train. Bai Susu showed some displeasure upon hearing this. 7th senior sister, your defense force is already full. I'm still 1 person short. Chu Na pinched her own cute cheek. Alright, I'm not teasing you anymore. Junior brother, you're mine from now on, okay? Watching the 2 senior sisters arguing endlessly over his allegiance, Su Heng was speechless. I don't think I've made a decision yet. A few days later, the 6 Lands duel tournament was about to begin. Lu Yu addressed several participating contestants. This 6 Lands duel tournament concerns the honor of the Blacklight Gathering Place, and for each of you personally, it's also a significant opportunity. If you can achieve a good ranking, your path as a Beast Master will be even broader. Remember, you are a team. We must unite and help each other. Is everyone clear? Yes. Here it comes, here it comes. Su Heng's moment of greatest strength has arrived. Facing the collective provocation of his foolish teammates, he actually announced it in front of everyone, that he would take on 4 opponents at once. I really want to see whose fists are harder, or whose mouths are harder. Just now, Lu Yu led his team to participate in the 6 Lands duel. Then she asked Su Heng to ride in the same car with her. But this decision drew the displeasure of the white-haired King Xian. But he dared not complain in front of Lu Yu. He could only attribute it all to Su Heng. Why didn't we get to ride with Director Lu for special training? Why does this bastard Su Heng get all the good things? Luo Chong, standing nearby, fanned the flames. Brother Wang, don't get angry. This little brat only became a beast master a few days ago. Tonight, we'll teach him a lesson. Because this duel competition is far from the Blacklight Gathering Place, it'll take 2 days and 1 night to arrive. Night falls. The caravan sets up camp on a flat piece of land to rest. Lu Yu, experienced as he is, quickly arranges all the tasks. Su Heng was originally preparing food for the dragon serpent lizard, but the next moment, he suddenly sensed activity from the treasure-hunting beast within the ring. As expected, after several days of digestion, the treasure-hunting beast finally completed its evolution. Because it had consumed a piece of high-grade dragon scale, the little guy also grew dragon scales after its evolution. But the next moment, Su Heng was startled, because he was surprised to find that, after swallowing the floating sky secret stone, the treasure-hunting beast had actually gained the ability to fly. Just then, Lu Yu reminded everyone to maintain a good beast-controlling state, but she didn't see Su Heng. She immediately asked the 2 of them, "Where's Su Heng?" Luo Chong said sarcastically, "Oh, he's somewhere bonding with a mixed-blood scale beast he got his hands on. He's busy with that right now. I'd say, commoners deserve common beasts." Su Heng and the treasure-hunting beast nearby overheard this. The treasure-hunting beast looked utterly confused. Then it angrily shook its fist. "You son of a bitch, who did you call a mixed-blood scale beast? I, your young master, am one of the true 4 divine beasts." Su Heng was also speechless. Scale beasts are a general term for dangerous creatures that are naturally born with scales, and mixed-blood scale beasts refer to the offspring of scale beasts and other creatures. Generally speaking, they are very weak. But his treasure-hunting beast is no mere mixed-blood scale beast, not to mention it originally belonged to one of the 4 divine races, and now, a successful dragon-transformed treasure-hunting dragon beast. A creature like this is probably unique to this planet. Looking at the 2 clowns constantly picking a fight, Su Heng wore a playful smirk. A dog will never spit out ivory. Wang Xian smiled upon hearing this. He was just worried about not having a reason to teach that bastard Su Heng a lesson. Here comes the opportunity. Come, let's feed the spirit beasts first. Ignore him. With those miscellaneous spirit beasts of his, what kind of strength could he possibly have? Having said that, he summoned his 2 intermediate-level danger beasts, the Highland Cougar and the Steel-Armored Beetle. Rena followed suit, summoning the Ironwood Tree and the Sleep Butterfly, as well as her newly subdued advanced-level danger beast, the blood lion. Meanwhile, Lin Yusen summoned the flower ghost tiger and the electric tail vapor. She couldn't stand them constantly ganging up on Su Heng. We're all part of the same team. Isn't it wrong to gossip about someone like this? Luo Chong scoffed at this. Nonsense. In a squad, of course, you listen to whoever's the strongest. Maybe Su Heng, that dead weight, will need me, Brother Wang, to bail him out later. But before he could finish, he noticed his red phosphorus beast was trembling. Luo Chong was instantly dumbfounded. However, the next second, the dragon snake lizard actually ran out of Su Heng's spirit ring on its own accord. Hearing Luo Chong's disrespectful words towards Su Heng, it immediately flew into a rage. With a flick of its tail, it sent the trash flying tens of meters away. Seeing this scene, Luo Chong was instantly furious. Su, what the hell do you mean? However, Su Heng feigned innocence. Are you talking about me? I clearly didn't do anything. Look at his innocent act. Luo Chong felt this was a blatant humiliation. Su Heng, you little punk, you're trying to pick a fight, aren't you? Then he released another blood hunter wolf from his bird. The Oscar-winning Su Heng again showed a helpless expression. No, it's all a misunderstanding. See, I never gave the attack order. It was the Longshi lizard on its own. But before he could finish speaking, another Longshi lizard attacked. He ruined Wang Xian's steel helmet again. Seeing this, Wang Xian immediately flew into a rage. But Su Heng turned around and pretended to lecture the dragon snake lizard. My goodness, dragon snake lizard, how could you do this? You're making it very difficult for me. Luo Chong immediately stepped forward to reprimand Su Heng. We're a team. Don't you know you should stick together? Hearing this, Su Heng laughed. Didn't you just say that in a team, whoever is stronger gets to call the shots? And it's normal for us miscellaneous people to be paired with miscellaneous beasts. Being a little impolite is also normal, isn't it? Anyway, you'll all have to rely on Brother Wang in the end, won't you? Wang Xian's mouth twisted in anger when he heard this. But the next second, Su Heng's aura suddenly skyrocketed. 10,000 no, 8,000. Brother Wang, don't agree. Let's practice. Wang Xian was so scared he didn't dare look him in the eye, but he still stubbornly argued. I wasn't talking about your dragon serpent lizard. Are you mistaken? Su Heng let out a cold snort. What? Are you afraid? Wang Xian nervously swallowed, his face turning ashen. He hadn't expected Su Heng to leave him no room to back down. Look at him, such a coward. Su Heng smiled. Then he looked at Wang Xian with an amused expression. If you're really that scared, you can team up with Luo Chong. I'll let Long Shexi fight four of you at once. Lu Yu, standing to the side, was somewhat surprised. I didn't expect Su Heng to have such a strong side to him. This is interesting. A moment later, the 3 people and 5 beasts arrived at a clearing. Su Heng spoke frankly. I won't bully you two either. Let's go together. Seeing Su Heng completely ignore them, Wang Xian flew into a rage. Damn it, do you think this is a senior giving advice to a junior? I'll fight you to the death today. The next second, 4 spirit beasts simultaneously attacked Su Heng. This was Su Heng's most defiant moment. Faced with his idiotic teammates' provocation, he actually chose to fight 4 at once, right in front of everyone. Come on, all of you, attack together. Let's see if it's my fists or your mouths that are harder. Let's see whose is tougher. Wang Xian, seeing himself being underestimated, immediately became furious. Damn it, I'll fight you. Go. Attack. Red Phosphorus Beast. Steel Armor Helmet. Blood Hunter Wolf M. Highland Cougar. 4 summoned beasts charged simultaneously. Seeing this scene, Su Heng sneered. A simple and effective tactic, but in the face of absolute strength, it seems so naive. Do it, Long Shexi. Be careful not to damage them. Su Heng's voice had just fallen, when the Longshi lizard's tail lashed out like lightning. The bloodhound wolf, which was in the forefront, was instantly sent flying 100 meters away. Seeing this, the two were instantly stunned. Damn, this kid's only been a beast master for a few months. How is he so strong? However, at this moment on the field, Steel Armor and Highland Cougar simultaneously activated their talent skills, but facing the combined attack of the remaining 3 beasts, the dragon serpent lizard killed them as easily as slaughtering chickens. With one blow of its dragon claw, it sent the blood lion flying. A vicious attack sent the steel armor helmet crashing into the ground. In just a few breaths, the dragon serpent lizard had annihilated them. On the other hand, 2 female players watching on looked shocked. When did he get so strong? A few minutes later, Su Heng completely subdued the 2. Even Luo Chong, who was always so arrogant, actively tried to curry favor with him. The other 3, look at Luo Chong, fawning over Su Heng like a lapdog. Everyone is speechless. Luo Chong is quite a character. How come I never noticed before? Su Heng is also surprised. A complete strength-based ideology is the common belief of this era. Someone like Luo Chong is rare though, but how Lai is a teammate. He can only turn a blind eye. The next day. Boom boom boom. The convoy arrives at the location of the 6 Lands Duel, Hongfeng Valley. It's named for its red maple production. The duel arena's main structure is built from Thunder Shadow Stone. It's not only incredibly strong, but also self-repairing. Moments later, Su-Heng got out of the car, but he was surprised to find that other convoys had arrived even before them. Lu Yu introduced him. This is someone from Red Scorpion. We have a good relationship with them. Just then, a tall woman walked over. Surprise flickered across her face. Lu Yu, I didn't expect you to be leading the team this year. Lu Yu also went to greet her upon hearing this. Long time no see, Ji Fei. I didn't expect your Red Scorpion town to be the first to arrive. However, just as the two were chatting happily, suddenly, a horn blared. It startled everyone. Ji Fei immediately flew into a rage. She turned her head, gritting her teeth, but she saw the other person was still continuously honking the horn. The next second, she stormed over there, fuming. Immediately, with a clang, she kicked something onto the car. A few seconds later, Tai Man, the leader of Taikwa Town, got out of the car. He helplessly waved his hand. Ji Fei, who provoked you? That hunk of iron, why did you even pick it up? Ji Fei became even angrier after hearing this. She bent over and angrily scolded. Who told you to blare your horn and disturb me? But just then, Wang Yi, a top contender standing beside Tai Man, suddenly noticed Su-Heng. At the same time, Su-Heng also noticed him. He seemed a little curious at that moment. So those are Taikwa City's seeded players. Night falls. Because convoys kept arriving one after another. No one got a good night's sleep. But thankfully, everyone arrived on time. The next day, after the traditional rules were clearly stated and the referee's oath was taken, the 6 lands duel officially began. The referee panel consisted of leading from each of the 6 lands. Therefore, each referee possessed a professional-level skill set or higher, guaranteeing the fairness of the competition. The 6 lands duel employed a relatively fair point system. 30 people will duel 5 times through a lottery. Win a match, gain 1 point. Conversely, lose a match, deduct 1 point. The 8 people with the highest scores will advance to the top 8. Meanwhile, at the duel arena registration desk, it was Su-Heng's turn. The competition rules state that each person can only register 2 spirit beasts. Su-Heng fell silent for a moment. The dragon serpent lizard is no problem, but if I also register the treasure hunting dragon beast, it might attract unwanted attention. So to prevent any accidents, he deliberately wrote mongrel scale beast. The man with the middle part, turning around, saw this. He immediately laughed. Unexpectedly, such a large force as the Blacklight Gathering would actually have such trash. Bringing a mongrel scale beast to compete, isn't this a pushover? Moments later, with the host's introduction, the first round of the preliminary competition, each contestant may change their beast at most once. A beast losing its fighting ability means defeat. The first match is between Su-Heng from Black Lantern Fort and Lu Mang from Flowing Cloud Town. With the referee's call of begin the match, the 6 lands duel officially begins. Lu Mang across from him is incredibly arrogant. Show me your trash beast. A cannon fodder from Blacklight Fort. But looking at the opponent's intermediate-level dangerous species, the cloud pattern leopard, Su-Heng was speechless. Just this intermediate-level dangerous species, it probably can't even beat my subordinate, Luo Chong. But Lu Mang had an inexplicable confidence. It turned out he had just learned from his teammates that Su-Heng only had 1 mixed blood scale beast. So facing such trash as Su-Heng, his confidence soared. Don't worry, kid. Even though you're only a mixed blood scale beast, I won't bully you. After all, a beastmaster's cultivation focuses on cultivating the mind. Even if I'm far stronger than you, you should still dare to face the challenge. But that pretentious look of his, even the audience can't stand it anymore. Bullshit. You're just an intermediate-level dangerous species, acting all high and mighty. Fight quickly. Fight or get lost. Don't waste my time. Su-Heng didn't bother wasting words on this show-off. He didn't even summon the dragon serpent lizard. But the dragon serpent lizard glanced at the opponent. After discovering that the opponent was a low-level, trash cloud pattern leopard, it actually, in front of the entire audience, curled up and started sleeping. Seeing this, the ruffian was immediately so angry his teeth ached. Seeing this beast with no fighting spirit at all, he guessed it wasn't a high-level breed. He then had the cloud pattern leopard use a charging attack. But the next moment, a shocking scene unfolded. This was a top-tier dragon serpent lizard. Lu Mang mistakenly thought it was just trash. He even lectured Su-Heng with the air of a strong person. But his pretentious act, even the audience couldn't stand it. Su-Heng didn't bother wasting words with this show-off. He immediately summoned the dragon serpent lizard. With a single whiplash, he sent the opponent's trash cloud pattern leopard crashing into the wall. Seeing this, Flowing Python was instantly stunned. Whoa! This kid's spirit beast isn't a trash mixed blood scale beast. What kind of shady tactics did he use? However, when the referee announced Su-Heng's victory in the first match, and was about to call for the second Beastmaster battle, Lu Mang suddenly lodged a protest. Referee, I report him for cheating. The referee is speechless. Young man, you don't even recognize a top-tier dangerous species, the dragon serpent lizard? Lu Mang was instantly dumbfounded. Dragon serpent lizard, isn't his beast a mixed blood scaled beast? But he quickly regained his mysterious confidence. So what if it's a top-tier dragon serpent lizard? I won't give up easily. The next second, he struck a pose he thought was very cool, summoning another intermediate-level danger species, Cerberus. However, the results were quite embarrassing. The dragon serpent lizard's whip once again knocked Cerberus out, but the audience seeing this scene, were immediately filled with righteous indignation and protested. Unfair. Protest. Blacklight Fort actually sent a contestant with a top-tier danger species, and it's in its late growth stage. Luo Chong watched the people around him whispering. The vast majority were questioning the top-tier danger species, the fairness of the competition and Su Huan's eligibility to participate. He responded with a disgruntled expression. Bullshit. Su Jiyi's dragon snake lizard hasn't reached maturity yet, even if it's just 1 day short. It's still within the competition's upper limit. Luo Chong then arrogantly shouted. If you're so capable, go subdue a top-tier danger beast yourselves. He considers himself Su Huan's right-hand man now. He absolutely cannot tolerate anyone speaking ill of his boss. After noticing the hostile gazes around him, Luo Chong spoke again. What? Jealous? To tell you the truth, my brother Su is just awesome. He's amazing. He grew up inside a beast-controlling egg. Seeing the other party silent, Luo Chong directly started to boast mindlessly. The day my brother Su became a beast master, those beast tamers are lining up to ask my brother Su to pick. Understand, what's called genius? What's called strength? Look at my brother Su. Lena felt extremely ashamed upon hearing this. She glared angrily at Wang Sun. Seeing this, Wang Sun quickly waved his hands and said, I swear, that kid must have been beaten silly by Su Huan. He was definitely not like this back then. I could never have been so close to someone like that. I don't know him. The first round of the Six Lands duel, it's basically just a clash of cannon fodder. The real experts can basically defeat their opponents with one move, just like Su Huan. Naturally, there are also those who are playing possum and observing from the sidelines. Apart from Su Huan's overwhelming victory in Black Lantern Fort, it's worth mentioning that Wang Sun unleashed his full potential this time. He was locked in a fierce battle with an equally strong opponent. The two fought on the stage for over 20 minutes. Before the match ended, Lena also won a point. Wang Sun, Luo Chong, Lin Yusin. Lena's scores have now become 1 point, -1 point, and -1 point, respectively, until the fourth match. Su Huan encountered Wang Yi, the seeded player from Taijian City, a top 8 contender with 2 mature, high-level, dangerous species creatures. Wang Yi, like Su Huan, maintained a 3-win record. Based on past experience, usually only a perfect 5-win record guarantees advancement to the top 8, so this match is very important for both of them. Both went all out from the start. Yu Yi's mature stage Steel Claw Black Tiger and Dragon Serpent Lizard simultaneously launched vicious attacks, lunging at each other. Cold light flashed. The two separated instantly after contact. The Dragon Snake Lizard landed steadily, but a claw mark appeared on the Steel Claw Black Tiger's back. However, the claw mark wasn't deep, it didn't even bleed. Seeing this, Su Huan unconsciously clenched his fist and secretly analyzed. Steel-type Beastmaster's innate skill. At a critical moment, the Steel Claw Black Tiger used a steel hardening technique to enhance its defense while also stopping the bleeding. Then Su Huan glanced at Wang Yi, who looked calm and composed, and secretly made a decision. I intended to rely on my steel type's defense, to use an injury-for-injury fighting style and engage in close combat with the Dragon Serpent Lizard, but I'm not falling for your trick. Having made up my mind, Su Huan immediately commanded the Dragon Serpent Lizard, Earthbound self-propelled cannon. The Dragon Serpent Lizard instantly let out a dragon's roar. It suddenly planted its 4 claws on the ground. A surging Earth-type energy immediately rose from the ground, and swirled around its body. Su Huan then secretly and contentedly analyzed. Relying on the recovery power of the Earth-type amplification, I simultaneously use enhanced malevolent bullets for high-speed movement and shooting. Although it's not lethal, it's still quite troublesome. This is the new offensive of the Dragon Serpent Lizard after its advanced growth stage. Meanwhile, the Dragon Serpent Lizard suddenly opened its gaping maw. Visible to the naked eye, dark energy continuously gathered and solidified in its mouth. Immediately afterwards, the Dragon Serpent Lizard launched a fierce attack on the Steel Claw Black Tiger. Reinforced dark pulse blasts were fired as if they were costless. 4 blasts with each opening of its mouth. They shot straight at Steel Claw Black Tiger. 4 malice bullets shot towards different directions, reducing Steel Claw Black Tiger's movement space, preventing it from utilizing its speed advantage. It was directly enveloped by the malice bullets. In a moment, the smoke from the malice bullet slowly began to dissipate, but this attack didn't hit Steel Claw Black Tiger. Instead, it was completely blocked by an impenetrable, thick ice wall. After withstanding the attack, the ice wall only spattered a few ice shards. This Dragon Serpent Lizard launched a full-scale attack right from the start. Opening its mouth, it unleashed the Malice Bullet's evolved ability, the Malice Ray. Damn it! The motion beam didn't hit Steel Claw Black Tiger as I expected. Instead, it was blocked by an impenetrable, thick ice wall. The referee's main role in this situation is to ensure that the contestant's strength isn't severely compromised, so as not to affect the following matches. Instead of simply announcing victory or defeat, the watchings gasped in cold sweat and exclaimed in alarm. Luckily, the referee intervened in time. Otherwise, there would have been a serious incident. That evil motion ray was truly powerful. The referee ice wall easily blocked the evil motion ray, and declared Su Huan the winner of the first match. While Wang Yi silently retracted the steel claw black tiger, he began to think deeply. After this battle, the dragon serpent lizard should have consumed a significant amount of its energy. His second beast is a mixed blood scale beast, which shouldn't have much fighting power. It must be so. Who could cultivate a top-tier dangerous species to its late growth stage, in such a short period of time, and still manage other spirit pets at the same time? Then Wang Yi moved his hand, and a dark red summoning formation immediately appeared. He didn't waste any more time. He directly summoned his second spirit beast. Wang Yi's second spirit beast was also a steel type. This is also the most popular path for beast masters in Iron Anvil City, overwhelming opponents with unbreakable steel-like strength. The fully matured, intermediate danger level double-tailed steel bristle beast size. It's a whole circle larger than a dragon snake lizard, fully 5 meters long, 2 or 3 meters tall, 2 nearly 2 meter long steel tails. They're like 2 steel whips, incredibly destructive. Su Huan couldn't help but frown upon seeing this. Dragon serpent lizard. Let's test its strength with a malice bullet first. Recover your stamina slowly. The words had barely left his mouth, when the dragon serpent lizard leaped up suddenly. Reinforced malice bullets were fired in rapid succession. Although the two bristle steel beasts are much slower than the steel claw black tiger we faced before, their defenses are even stronger. The reinforced malice bullet hitting the bristle steel beast's hardened hide only made a sound. It couldn't even break through the defense. Seeing this, Wang Yi grinned. The steel whisker beast is my true main battle pet. I won't lose again. Then, Wang Yi waved his hand and commanded, steel-hardened double weasel saw. The double-tailed steel whisker beast immediately dropped to its hands and knees. It let out a bright roar. It began to activate the steel-type energy within its body. The next moment, immense steel-type energy continuously surged from its body, converging towards the two terrifying giant tails, solidifying the tails into two saw-like blades. In a blink of an eye, the 4-stage awakened skill, the double Itachi saw, had already been successfully activated. Seeing this, the crowd gasped in shock. Such a terrifying 4-stage awakened skill. This is beyond the capabilities of a rookie. It's over. Su Huan's second spirit beast is just a filler. He's finished now. When Luo Chong heard someone say his boss was done for, he immediately clenched his fists excitedly and roared. What nonsense are you talking about? My boss definitely has more tricks up his sleeve. Guanguan Manhwa. Although Luo Chong doesn't know if Su Huan truly has a trump card. Guanguan Manhwa commentary. He still firmly mutters to himself. Guanguan Manhwa commentary definitely has one. Guanguan Manhwa, meanwhile, Guanguan Tao Hua Wang Yi, with a cold and composed smile, calmly commands. Twin-tailed steel whisker beast. Attack. This is a steel-type spirit beast that can both attack and tank. It's unbreakable. Steel-like strength alone is enough to overwhelm opponents. And it has even awakened a level 4 skill. The terrifying steel-type ability, twin-tailed weasel saw. The twin-tailed steel whisker beast lunged forward. Just as it charged close to the dragon serpent lizard, the thick, long steel whip tail directly smashed onto the dragon serpent lizard's head. The dragon serpent lizard, stunned by the whip, couldn't react in time. It was instantly hit by the double-tailed steel whisker beast's hardened claws. The twin-tailed steel whisker beast pressed its advantage relentlessly. The moment it landed, it extended its sharp claws. It ruthlessly pinned the dragon serpent lizard to the ground and rubbed it. Seeing this, Su Huan felt the pressure increase sharply. The evil thought bullet couldn't break its defense. Only a higher-level evil impulse ray could inflict damage upon it. What a tough opponent. Just then, Wang Yi suddenly shouted. Su Huan, just admit defeat. There's no need for us to continue this. With your skills, competing for the top 3 spots is definitely no problem. He paused, his expression serious, and spoke again. If we continue fighting like this, we'll only be making things easier for the others. You understand what I mean, right? But Su Huan scoffed at this. He responded indifferently. You're right. So it's the same if you admit defeat. Seeing Su Huan's refusal to listen, Wang Yi became instantly enraged. He raised his hand, which emitted a faint red glow, and shouted sharply. Then just wait to lose. Steel bristle beast, double-tailed kill. The words had barely left his mouth, when the steel bristle beast, using its 2 claws to control the dragon serpent lizard's double tail, immediately let out a furious roar. Red energy drifted from Wang Yi's hand, instantly swirling around him. The 2 long tails behind him lashed out again at the dragon serpent lizard. Seeing the danger, the dragon serpent lizard quickly slammed its claws onto the ground. With the eruption of earth energy, solid earth spikes immediately sprang up from the ground on either side of it. The next moment, The earth spear's thrust slammed heavily into the double-tailed steel bristle beast's abdomen. It instantly interrupted its skill, but the double-tailed steel bristle beast's hardened hide defense was too astonishing. Even a nearly 2-meter-long earth spear striking its abdomen couldn't break through its defense. After being pushed back by the earth spear, it still didn't forget. He slammed the dragon serpent lizard violently onto the ground. The dragon serpent lizard immediately retreated to catch its breath and recover. Seeing this, Wang Yi calmly smiled. Useless. An attack of this level can't even break through my defenses. Su Huan nodded in response. What if there were a little more? As soon as he finished speaking, the dragon serpent lizard used a more energy-consuming second stage of the earth spear sacrifice. 10 spears of the earth spear sacrifice pierced. Each time I consecutively thrust out 10 earth spears. Even with the double-tailed steel whisker beast's astonishing defense, it's now quite overwhelmed. It can only frantically dodge amongst the earth spears. Meanwhile, the dragon serpent lizard is firing at full power. Earth spears instantly cover the entire arena. The double-tailed steel whisker beast had nowhere to hide. Although ordinary earth spikes couldn't pierce its hardened hide, being repeatedly stabbed in the belly by powerful earth spears was still extremely uncomfortable. The little guys in the audience were instantly dumbfounded. What a terrifying battle. Guanguan's commentary on the painting. The terrain has been completely altered. Those who firmly believed Wang Yi would ultimately win, even the commentary on the painting fell silent. At this moment, they couldn't even guess who the final victor would be. After all, the dragon snake lizard's earth spikes, launched as if they cost nothing, were truly astonishing. Guanguan's manga commentary. This unstoppable dragon snake lizard was shockingly abused by an opponent of lower level. To turn the tables, it unleashed its ultimate move, the 10-spear thrust of earth. Even the double-tailed steel bristle beast's amazing defense couldn't withstand this attack. Even if these spikes are just condensed energy, they'll disappear soon enough as the energy dissipates. But for now, they can't all disappear at once. Hundreds of spikes are chaotically scattered across the platform. The earth spear ritual, 10 spear thrusts did have a suppressing effect, but this skill is incredibly energy-consuming. Even though the dragon serpent lizard is known for its physical strength and stamina, a top-tier apex predator, it's still a little out of breath, and the double-tailed steel bristle beast isn't faring much better. Faced with such a concentrated attack, it can only keep breaking through with brute force, violently snapping the earth spikes, and its physical strength and endurance are clearly inferior to the dragon serpent lizard. At this moment it was panting heavily from exhaustion. Seeing this, Wang Yi secretly felt a sense of foreboding. This can't go on, it's not advantageous for me. The dragon serpent lizard can replenish and recover its strength by absorbing the earth's energy at any time, but the steel bristle beast will likely exhaust its physical strength soon. It seems I have no choice but to go all out. Let's gamble. Turning a bicycle into a motorcycle, Wang Yi, realizing he couldn't afford to drag it out, resolutely gave a sweeping gesture and commanded, double-tailed steel bristle beast, using the steel-type move, Steel Rain. The next second, the twin-tailed steel whisker beast suddenly swung its giant claws. The steel-type ranged attack move activated instantly. Several spikes, each with the power comparable to rifle bullets, instantly shot towards the dragon serpent lizard. The dragon snake lizard saw the spikes rushing towards it. It reacted instantly. It knew it couldn't withstand them directly. Immediately, it leaped. Activating its high speed, it tried to avoid them. However, at that moment, Wang Yi suddenly waved his hand and commanded, "Good opportunity, quickly use the steel-splitting tail snipe." The words had just left his mouth, when the two terrifyingly long tails behind the double-tailed steel whisker beast suddenly transformed into 6. It swiftly stabbed towards the dragon snake lizard in midair. The dragon snake lizard, which was flying through the air to dodge the hail of steel projectiles, had no time to react. It was directly pierced by 6 sharp tails. Seeing this, a flash of satisfaction appeared in Wang Yi's eyes. He suddenly extended his hand, radiating red energy, and shouted, "Pull it over here." The words had just left his mouth. 6 sharp, long tails instantly bound the dragon snake lizard tightly. The injured dragon snake lizard was completely unable to resist the immense strength of the twin-tailed steel bristle beast. In the blink of an eye, it was swiftly pulled down from midair by the twin-tailed steel bristle beast. Immediately, the twin-tailed steel bristle beast let out a roar. It planted its 4 claws firmly on the ground. It concentrated all its strength in its tail. The next moment, the dragon serpent lizard crashed to the ground. The impact was intensified by its gathered momentum. This devastating blow increased its destructive power. It immediately inflicted serious injuries. The double-tailed steel spine beast immediately let out a piercing roar that echoed throughout the area. As a top-tier danger beast, the dragon serpent lizard simply could not tolerate such humiliation. It abruptly stood up, raising its head and roaring a warhammer. A deafening dragon's roar instantly echoed in everyone's ears. Immense dragon power continuously surged from its body. A giant hammer, formed from the convergence of sound waves and dragon power, instantly solidified. Wang Yi knew that the double-tailed steel-bristled beast, I simply couldn't resist this. Level 4 Awakened Ability Technique, a dual assault on body and spirit. He hurriedly shouted out, "I yield." Just as the Dragon Roar Warhammer was about to fall, the referee, hearing this, finally made a swift move. The ice barrier he constructed blocked the sonic attack of the Dragon Roar Warhammer, but the barrier also began to rapidly crack under the sonic attack. Then, after glancing at Wang Yi, the referee raised his hand and announced, "The second match is over." There seems to be a repeated and possibly erroneous phrase, Guan Guan Manhwa, and Guan Guan Han, in the original. I have omitted it as it doesn't appear to be coherent English. Su Huan Sheng, Guan Guan. This Longqi lizard suffered a grueling battle of attrition. After being repeatedly worn down, it decisively unleashed the Dragon's Roar Warhammer to end the fight. The moment this terrifying hammer blow landed, the referee immediately intervened to protect the opponent's beast. With Su Huan's victory, the list of 5 winners is released. They directly advance to the quarterfinals. Except for Su Huan, everyone else from the Blacklight Gathering place became mere supporting players. And there are 5 winners. Only these 5 have successfully advanced to the quarterfinals. They are from Black Lantern Fort, Connected Eagle Fort, Flowing Cloud Town, Red Scorpion Town, and Chaos Sand Town. 1 person from each settlement. All are top contenders from the major settlements. It's a pity for Wang Yi from Iron Anvil City. He was eliminated by Su Huan's Dragon Roar Warhammer. 6 people remain with a record of 4 wins and 1 loss, earning 3 points. These 6 will compete in the rematch to determine the other 3 quarterfinalists. And among these 6, Wang Yi is undoubtedly the top contender to win. Although he was defeated by Su Huan twice in a row, no one dares to underestimate him. They only think his opponent, Su Huan, is too monstrous. The 6-person semifinal only consisted of 3 matches. It ended quickly. Wang Yi smoothly secured a spot in the semifinal top 8. And the other 2 who made the top 8 were both from Lianying Fort. Thus, the top 8 were decided, just waiting for tomorrow's decisive battle. The quarterfinal system is simple. Elimination matches. The qualifiers will face off 1 by 1. The winner continues. The loser is eliminated. Winners and losers are decided in 1 match. First, it's the drawing lot session again. Su Huan once again showed his lucky charm. He was chosen to draw first. And he happened to draw the weakest of the 8. The Lianying Fortress Master, Li Fei. Judging from the draw, his chances of reaching the finals are extremely high. Li Fei only has 2 fully matured intermediate-level danger species, but he still wants to give it his all. However, against the Dragon Serpent Lizard, his 2 pets combined wouldn't last 10 rounds. Seeing the overwhelming gap, Li Fei finally conceded defeat. Seeing this, Su Huan politely bowed in return, saying, "You're welcome, Master Li Fei, please recover well. I look forward to our next match." This scene made the audience, who were excitedly watching the quarterfinals, jump up one after another. What the heck was that? Less than 20 seconds, and both spirit beasts were instantly defeated. It's obvious. The level difference is too great. Only Luo Chong still grinned with fervent madness. Even a weakling like Yingbao, 1 by 1, he'll crush them. Then he shouted towards the opposite stands. Su Gu is just that domineering. Every move against these weaklings is unique. Watch carefully and learn, understand. This is the strength of our Black Lantern Fort. Luo Chong's arrogant behavior immediately angered the bald man in the opposing stands. He was none other than Hua Hong, the top seed from Lianying Fort. Then Hua Hong ignored Luo Chong's shouts. Instead, he fixed his gaze intently on Su Huan in the arena. At that moment, the referee suddenly shouted, "The second battle of today is between Lu Lan of Luyun Town and Chen Dingxian of Wansha Town." The Six Lands duel tournament has been going on for a while now. Except for Su Huan, everyone else has summoned 2 spirit beasts to fight. This means everyone's spirit beasts types and strengths. Lu Lan's participating spirit beasts are a mature, high-level, dangerous species, Lu Feng Tsangji, as well as a mature, top-tier dangerous species, the Crimson Zenith Wolf. However, Chen Dingshuan's participating spirit beast is a mid-tier dangerous species, a sandline mantis, possessing sand, insect, and fighting-type abilities in its complete form. A completely matured mid-tier dangerous species, the sandline mantis. This man's luck is simply unbelievable. He drew the weakest opponent in the quarterfinals. He won the match in just 10 rounds. And the second match began. It's Lu Lan from Luyun Town versus Chen Dingxian from Wansha Town. The first match was undoubtedly a tough fight. Lu Feng Kangji, covered in beautiful pale blue feathers. I don't know how many times he was struck down by the ferocious sandline mantis. Only finally, through his powerful 3-stage wind elemental technique, did he defeat his opponent. Second battle. Lu Feng Kangji hadn't even had time to expend his energy. How much HP does Chen Dingshuan's top-tier danger species have? The battle ended hastily. It was because after Lu Feng Kangji's first battle, his strength was reduced to less than half. Immediately after, Lu Lan sent out her strongest spirit beast, the Crimson Zenith Wolf. The fire scale beast is considerably stronger than the Crimson Zenith Wolf, Originally, the Crimson Wolf was no match for the Fire Scale Beast, but in the end, Lu Lan's Crimson Wolf pulled off an upset. It surprisingly defeated Chen Dingshuan's Fire Scale Beast by exchanging injuries. The Crimson Wolf's strength and its striking appearance completely captivated the audience. Apart from the participating Beast Masters from Wansha Town, Chen Dingshuan's defeat marked the official withdrawal of Wansha Town from the competition for a place in the Blood Forest Ruins. The third match today will be between Ji Meiyu, the top seed from Red Scorpion Town, and Quang Zheng, the number 2 contender from Lianying Fort. Ji Mei's summoned beasts are 2 scorpion-type summoned creatures. One is a mature, high-level, dangerous species, the Black Needle Blood Scorpion. The other is a late-stage growth, special-level, dangerous species, the King Scorpion. The properly registered competition summoned beasts are a mature, high-level, dangerous species, the Exploding Beast, and a mature, high-level, dangerous species, the Firestorm Ape. The first match is between Black Needle Scorpion and Explosive Ape. Clad in hard armor, the Black Needle Scorpion, relying on its high defense and HP, whips its tail, intending to give the Explosive Ape a scorpion venom lesson. However, it didn't expect to be grabbed by the tail by the Explosive Ape immediately. It was tossed around on the ground. Just when everyone thought the outcome was decided, Heijin Shuexie unleashed a deadly poison needle. It instantly reversed the match. And in the second battle, Quang Zheng summoned the Exploding Beast, hoping for a long-range bombardment. But it happened to run into the Master of Subterfuge, the King Scorpion. He completely hit a brick wall. Clearly, Quang Zheng lost to luck this time. In the end, Ji Meiyu successfully advanced to the semifinals. Finally, only the last semifinalist spot remains. Wang Yi summoned his strongest spirit beast, the twin-tailed steel bristle beast. Hua Hong's pet is a behemoth with the head of an eagle, the body of a lion, and 2 large, powerful wings. It's clearly a late-stage eagle-lion beast, possessing flying type and beast type. A top-tier dangerous species with triple attribute, extremely dangerous abilities. Wang Yi's expression had become extremely grim. He couldn't help but mutter to himself, "Damn it, it's really unfair. First, I encountered Su Huan, that pervert who possesses a top-tier dangerous species. After barely making it through the second round, I'm back. And I've run into Hua Hong, a freak, whose perversity is almost on par with Su Huan's. But having come this far, how could Wang Yi lack the courage to fight a desperate battle?" He immediately made up his mind. Men of Iron Anvil City don't give up easily. But once the match began, the double-tailed steel bristle beast was nearly toyed with and easily abused by the Griffin Lion beast. Wang Yi couldn't help but feel despair. Going on like this, what else can I do but concede? After the match ended, Hua Hong stood on the stage. Looking at Su Huan across from him, he suddenly spoke. "Su Gu from Black Lantern Fort, right? Right now, it's just the 2 of us with undefeated records." Hua Hong paused, his face cold as he spoke. "Let's skip the draw. Come down and fight. Do you dare to accept?" Su Huan couldn't help but silently complain upon hearing this. "What the hell is this? Why are you targeting me? I want to draw lots, big brother." Just then, Luo Chong, who was standing nearby, suddenly stood up and responded, "Accepting, or not accepting, even the trash from Ingbao, our brother Su would accept. Watch how Su Gu beats you." Su Huan immediately understood upon hearing this. He angrily stood up, grabbed Luo Chong, and scolded. "So it's all because of you that you offended them, is it?" Luo Chong's face was unsightly as he stammered. "Su Gu, listen to my explanation." Seeing this, Su Huan raised his hand and slapped Luo Chong. He roared at the same time. "Explain what? You're the one who causes the most trouble." Since his subordinate indicated that next, as the eldest brother, Su Huan couldn't possibly back down in public. He decisively entered the arena. Having been provoked by Luo Chong, Hua Hong was now furious. He said coldly through gritted teeth, "Su Gu of Heidian Fort, just now, how smug and self-satisfied you were when you defeated and humiliated Lianying Fort's Beastmaster. You'll soon see how pathetic you are." Su Huan's face instantly darkened at these words. A few lines of trash talk meant nothing to him. Su Huan. He quickly waved his hand, saying, "Brother Hua, let me explain. There's a misunderstanding here." However, Hua Hong didn't buy it. He stared coldly at Su Huan and said sarcastically, "Oh, come on. The domineering Su Gu, who abuses people in different ways. What's there to explain?" Luo Chong exploded upon hearing this. "What's there to explain? Su Gu, beat him up. Let him know the might of our Black Lantern Fort." The words had barely left his mouth. Hua Hong recalled the Eagle Lion Beast. Simultaneously, he summoned his other spirit beast, the Explosive Ape. The Explosive Ape is the evolved form of the Fiery Monkey, a top-tier dangerous species in its late growth stage. Although the Explosive Ape's size is smaller than the golden-backed steel-armed ape Su Huan had seen, its height is rather short, a late-stage superclass. But the burning flames on its tail are an evolved form, and its fur, burning like flames all over its body. The firelight on its fur, all demonstrate its powerful fire-type abilities. Su Huan saw this and immediately felt the pressure increase. He actually put away his main Eagle Lion Beast. Guan Guan comic commentary, and switched to the explosive ape. Guan Guan comic commentary, clearly intending to drain the dragon serpent lizard stamina, then deliver a killing blow. This is going to be tough. This little guy considers himself Su Huan's younger brother, but he keeps attracting enemies and making more foes for himself everywhere. Humiliated, Hua Hong directly summoned the explosive ape, a late-stage, special-class dangerous species. He declared a long-term, special-class battle of leg strength against Su Huan. As soon as it appeared, a wave of heat, like a fiery pressure, washed over them. They charged towards the dragon serpent lizard, but the dragon serpent lizard was not to be outdone. It instantly used the earth spear sacrifice, trapping the explosive ape within. The explosive ape dared not fight head-on. It fiercely stamped the arena. Flames erupted. He dodged most of the spikes. Then, using his flaming fists, he violently smashed 2 spikes. He leaped directly towards the outer edge of the arena. Hua Hong secretly felt pleased with himself. Good, don't engage. Just use the ape's agility to wear down the opponent. I still have one main battle pet. Let's see how you win today. Then the explosive ape leaped high. It let out a ferocious roar. Immense fire energy erupted from its mouth in an instant. In the blink of an eye, several scorching fireballs condensed. The next moment, those scorching fireballs shot towards the dragon snake lizard. Trails of scorching fire were left in the air. Under this violent long-range suppression, the dragon snake lizard. It's impossible to get close to the exploding ape. The wolf and fox can only dodge the falling fireballs within the arena. In a moment, all the ground spikes in the arena were shattered. After dodging for a while, the dragon serpent lizard quickly slid to the side, increasing the distance between them. Immediately, the dragon serpent lizard's neck constricted. A sound resonated within its body. To quickly eliminate its opponent, it decisively began charging its skill. Meanwhile, Hua Hong's eyes were fixed on the two battling on the field. Judging by this posture, I knew the dragon serpent lizard was preparing a big move. A level 4 awakened ability, Dragon Roar Warhammer, trying to secretly charge up and hide it from me. After analyzing the opponent's strategy, Hua Hong grinned confidently and commanded, "Explosive ape, open the armor." The words had just left his mouth, when the explosive ape roared furiously, a powerful aura erupting from its entire body. Flames instantly shot into the sky, engulfing the explosive ape. They quickly solidified. A suit of armor made of deep red flames formed on its body. This is precisely the Flame of Fury armor, which greatly enhances willpower and mental resistance. Following this, the explosive ape slammed its foot down. Flames erupted, and the fighting stage showed slight cracks. The exploding ape, having launched its ape-power rubber slingshot, charged straight towards the dragon serpent lizard. The dragon serpent lizard, not to be outdone, stood up and roared angrily, releasing a powerful dragon-type aura to counter it. Sure enough, the exploding ape's fire-type aura was completely suppressed by the dragon's might. Immediately, the two sides clashed. They continuously exchanged blows, testing each other's physical strength. Seeing this, Hua Hong became complacent and sneered at Su Huan. "I knew you'd use the Dragon Roar Warhammer to go for a headshot. Do you think I'm Wang Yi, that simpleton?" Then Hua Hong raised an eyebrow. He decisively commanded again, "Explosive ape, use the furious ape headbutt." The words had just left his mouth, when the explosive ape's eyes suddenly widened. Immense beast-type energy surged rapidly towards its head. Immediately, the explosive ape exerted tremendous force with both hands. It firmly held the dragon serpent lizard in place. Then, its strong ape head quickly and violently lifted and tilted back. Seeing this, the dragon serpent lizard was startled. It didn't know what the explosive ape was up to. This was a creature with overwhelming physical strength and a giant ape capable of unleashing powerful fire-type energy. After subduing the dragon serpent lizard, it even used the skill, Furious Ape Headbutt, attempting to smash the dragon serpent lizard to pieces. Seeing this, Hua Hong revealed a smug expression and laughed loudly at Su Huan. A variation of the Rage Fire armor. Head attack. The strongest defense right now is the head. The strongest attack is also the head. Come on, let me show you how I'll withstand the Dragon's Roar Warhammer. But Su Huan calmly replied, "What are you putting on this show? Who told you that throat power is the Dragon Roar Hammer?" Su Huan looked at him with a strange expression at this time. With a gradually stiffening expression, Hua Hong slowly said, "This is an improved technique with the addition of the dragon serpent lizard's throat sac talent. Compressed evil motion ray." Even before the explosive ape charged at the dragon serpent lizard, Su Huan had already telepathically instructed the dragon serpent lizard not to use the highly energy-consuming Dragon's Roar Warhammer. Immediately after, the dragon serpent lizard opened its maw. A torrent of immense dark-type energy surged from within its body, quickly compressing and coalescing within its mouth. Seeing this, Hua Hong, who had been certain of victory, was instantly shocked and terrified. He anxiously shouted, "No good, explosive ape, retreat quickly." The next moment, as the dragon serpent lizard opened its bloody maw and unleashed a dragon's roar, a beam of deep purple, dark energy, condensed into a straight line, instantly erupting. The exploding ape, hit by the dragon serpent lizard's compressed dark energy beam, was like being hit by a laser. Its massive body was pierced straight through by the compressed dark energy beam. In the blink of an eye, the compressed evil motion ray dissipated almost completely. The exploding ape only then reacted. Seeing its own body pierced through, its eyes widened instantly. Meanwhile, Hong's face was filled with disbelief and shock. He didn't expect the power of the dragon serpent lizard's compressed evil motion ray to be so terrifying. It all happened so fast. The referee hadn't even had time to stop it. He came to his senses and quickly shouted, "First match. Su Huan of Black Lantern Fort wins." Meanwhile, Hong stared intently at Su Huan, coldly saying, "Very good, you're very strong." Then he retrieved the heavily wounded exploding ape into his summoning space. Immediately afterward, the late-stage Eagle Lion Beast was summoned. The Eagle Lion Beast not only possessed a strong physique and immense strength, and possesses superb flying skills, it ranks among the top tier even among special-class danger species. Its species is no weaker than the heavily armored beast that was pursuing Su Huan, not by a long shot. In terms of difficulty, it's even more formidable. Hong immediately smiled confidently. "This time, I won't give you another chance." Seeing this, Su Huan's pressure increased sharply, and he secretly pondered. Being restricted to the field and falling outside counts as a loss. It's too unfair to the dragon serpent lizard. The Eagle Lion Beast is very adept at aerial combat. However, the dragon serpent lizard has never experienced aerial combat before. It's difficult to find one move to defeat the enemy. At this moment, Hong also began to analyze the situation in his mind. Even though the exploding ape had already taken a toll on it, this dragon serpent lizard still maintained its powerful strength, and its almost frantic fighting spirit. It's truly quite troublesome. Then Su Huan had a sudden idea. He whispered to the dragon snake lizard, "Perhaps there's a way we can try. Dragon snake lizard, just wait, and do this." However, at that moment, a clear voice suddenly came from outside the arena. "We, Black Lantern Fort, concede." Su Huan, who was conveying the battle plan to the dragon serpent lizard, was startled. Su Huan quickly turned towards the high platform. It was clearly Lu Yu who had just conceded. Then Lu Yu suddenly stood up and continued, "I'm the team leader of Blacklight Fortress. I have the authority to make this decision on behalf of the contestant." This incredibly powerful dragon serpent lizard only needed to use a single compressed evil motion ray to knock the opponent's summoned beast to the ground. However, just as Su Huan was about to seize the victory, Lu Yu stood up and declared his forfeit. Lu Yu's sudden decision left Su Huan puzzled, but he quickly understood the intricacies. It turned out, this 6-region duel was only a competition for 3. The quota for entering the Blood Forest Relic Secret Realm. The rewards for first, second, and third place are exactly the same. There are no extra rewards. According to Lu Yu, it's best to take the honor. It doesn't matter if you don't. The key is to conserve strength. After entering the ruins, the one who gets the most benefits is the true winner. In the end, Su Huan, with a second-place finish in the finals, obtained the qualification to enter the ruins. Hong and Ji Meiyu took first and third place, respectively. Thus, the Six Lands Grand Competition officially concluded. The next day was the opening day of the Blood Forest Relic Secret Realm. As night fell, Su Huan received a mental message from Lu Yu. She mysteriously called him to her tent. Su Huan quickly arrived outside her tent. He entered Lu Yu's tent and respectfully said, "Director Lu, special training. You wanted to see me?" Lu Yu looked as Su Huan came in. Lu Yu, who had been half lying down, sat up straight and replied, "Sit. I presume the castle lord has already told you about the origins of the Blood Forest relic site. However, many details are probably still unclear to you. You're still in the dark. What I'm about to tell you will be crucial for your entry into the Blood Forest relic. Whether we can gain something is very important. You must remember this." Su Huan deeply understood the importance of this matter. His expression immediately turned serious, and he said, "I understand. General training." Lu Yu then nodded slightly and replied, "These things should have been told to you before the competition, but the castle lord didn't actually expect to win in the Six Lands duel this year. So I'm only telling you now." Su Huan was speechless upon hearing this. So the teacher's encouragement before was all a lie. He never thought he could break into the top 3, entering the Blood Forest relic, huh? Seeing this, Lu Yu couldn't help but laugh and continued, "You are the second person in the past 3 sessions of the Six Lands duel to win a place, a Black Lantern Fortress. Last year, we, Hadian Fort, stopped at the semifinals. And the year before that, your senior sister, Zissou, also won a spot." After saying this, Lu Yu suddenly put on a mysterious expression and asked, "Do you know what the most valuable thing is in the Blood Forest ruins?" Su Huan naturally knew nothing. He shook his head, speechless. He couldn't help but silently complain, "You didn't tell me. How would I know?" Lu Yu then began to introduce the Blood Forest ruins. The Blood Forest ruins contain many extremely rare and unusual items that are hard to find in the outside world. Constantly nourished by the energy of the secret land, these young pets often possess incredibly amazing potential. These young pets are extremely valuable, often priceless. However, for you, that's not something you need to consider. After all, you can't take a large number of young pets with you, and the owner of the Blood Forest Ruins doesn't allow it. You only need to find 1 or 2 young pets that are most suitable for you. Taming them will meet your expectations. This is your most significant opportunity on this trip. Based on this, if you still have the energy, you can also specifically collect some materials and resources. The Blood Forest Ruins are rich in rare bloodline and dragon breath materials. Although most of the beast masters in our Black Lantern Fort primarily use dark-type beasts, and aren't skilled with bloodline-type beasts, you can still trade them with other beast masters for materials. There aren't many dragon-type pets in Blacklight Fortress, but there are a few, including your dragon snake lizard. If used properly, the various dragon-type resources in the Blood Forest Ruins can cause a qualitative change in its strength. Su Huan's heart began to race after she said that. His heart immediately began to burn with passion. His desire and need for dragon-type materials far surpassed others. He secretly rejoiced. In other words, Guangguan Comics news, what a stroke of luck. Don't forget Guangguan Comics. I still have my treasure hunting beast. Guangguan Comics U. This is a mysterious relic that nurtures countless rare young pets. It even produces various dragon-type materials. It's practically a sacred ground for dragon-type beast tamers. But Lu Yu suddenly adopted a serious expression and introduced. The Blood Forest relic site is extremely vast. Even the combined explorations of our 6 major settlements over the years only cover about 10%, not to mention just our Black Lantern settlement alone. Then Lu Yu pulled out a thick book from behind. Then he continued. This booklet contains the records of all the Beastmasters from Black Lantern Fort who have entered the Blood Forest Ruins over the years, summarizing and compiling information on the environment and various resources within the Blood Forest Ruins. I suggest you explore areas that have already been explored by others first. After all, that symbolizes safety. Then Lu Yu handed the booklet to Su Huan, solemnly warning, I need to emphasize again the importance of safety, even with the Blood Forest relic owner's verbal promise, to protect the safety of those entering the 6 major gathering areas. But there are still people every year who completely disappear into the depths of the relic, never to return. Su Huan quickly took the booklet and solemnly nodded in promise. I understand. General training. Then Lu Yu handed Su Huan a pendant in the shape of an amulet and said, right, take this with you before you go. Su Huan discovered the pendant was carved with a black behemoth with thick limbs and a small head. Holding it in his hand, he immediately felt a surge of power transmitting from it. He couldn't help but ask, this is? While a flash of admiration, imperceptible to others, crossed Lu Yu's eyes, he explained, this is a strange object with a sliver of power from the Castle Lord's primary mount sealed inside, originally intended for this 6 lands competition. The last resort the castle master left me, since you were able to break into the ruins. Then you'd better take this. It's best if you bring this with you. It will soon be 7 o'clock in the morning. The Blood Forest Ruins are about to open. The 3 who qualified, led by their respective masters, arrived at the entrance to the Blood Forest Ruins. So-called entrance. It's actually just a red forest. It's just that this forest's location is rather hidden. Located in the inner circle of the red forest. Very quickly, the 3 of them reached the waist-high boundary marker, each extending a hand, spreading their fingers wide, and placing their palms on the stone marker. Lu Yu then spoke. Let's begin. The words had barely left their mouths, when the 3 simultaneously mobilized their mental energy. After emitting a low hum, the boundary stone suddenly manifested a golden, mystical array. Immediately afterwards, the 3 simultaneously held. A powerful psychic wave emanated. A massive magical array gradually solidified beneath everyone's feet. The 3 psychic waves slowly converged in the midair. Su Huan couldn't help but be secretly astonished at the sight. Is this the psychic power of a quasi-professional beastmaster? Truly, it's incredibly powerful. As the 3 spiritual energy continuously flowed out, 3 streams of energy rapidly converged and rotated in the air. A golden vortex quickly formed above everyone's heads. Immediately afterwards, the golden vortex suddenly opened, and a dragon-like behemoth, its head covered in dark red scales, suddenly poked its head out. A majestic voice resonated directly in everyone's hearts. Is it that time of year again for the secret realm to open? Tai Man bowed slightly towards the golden vortex. He respectfully said, yes, my lord. The time has come for the annual opening of the Blood Forest Ruins. Then, that majestic voice sounded again. Let the ruins be opened. Hearing this, everyone's hearts tightened. They involuntarily straightened up and began to bow. The words had just fallen. Ripples of energy appeared before Su Huan. A circular energy passage, just large enough for one person to pass through, gradually formed. Hidden within are countless rare and exotic creatures, as well as various rare materials. The Blood Forest relic. It has finally opened. Seeing the passage open, Lu Yu immediately called out a warning. You can pass through the energy barrier and enter the secret realm from that passage. You have 1 month to explore. Once the time is up, the master of the Blood Forest Ruins will send you back here. We'll return to the gathering place first. We'll come back to pick you up in a month. The golden vortex in front of Su Huan, ripples of energy continuously spread out in layers, revealing a dark and gloomy scene within. A circular energy passage, large enough for one person to pass through, gradually formed. Seeing this, Hua Hong quickly walked to Su Huan's side. He couldn't wait to be the first to enter the energy passage. Su Huan didn't intend to waste time. Just as he was about to enter the passage, a cruel and icy voice echoed in the three of their minds. The leader has sent me to receive you. Next, I will imprint my aura on you. This way, unless you initiate the attack first, creatures in Blood Forest won't attack you at will. The bloody Tyrannosaurus suddenly warned. But my aura isn't omnipotent. If you dare to trespass into the inner or core regions of Blood Forest, those creatures whose strength is not inferior to mine, won't refrain from attacking you simply because of my aura. Humanity must not be too greedy. The words had just left his mouth, when the transmission portal began to spin wildly open, quickly engulfing the three of them. In the blink of an eye, the three were instantly enveloped in energy. They completely disappeared at the entrance of the energy channel. Meanwhile, the energy channel slowly began to dissipate in place. At the same time, in a certain corner of the Blood Forest ruins, the three were violently flung out of a teleportation channel. He fell straight to the ground. The world spun around him. Scenes shifted constantly before Su Huan's eyes. When his vision cleared, the scene before him shocked even Su Huan, who had already experienced much. My heart skipped a beat. A colossal creature, its head alone the size of half a house, was looking down at the three of them. This behemoth was probably close to 10 meters tall. This dragon-like giant beast, its body covered in dark red scales, had razor-sharp teeth, each one like a long sword. Ji Meiyu, beside Su Huan, looked at the enormous creature. She suddenly spoke in an excited yet trembling voice. It's the bloodthirsty dragon. You're here to guide us, aren't you? Everyone, close your eyes. Then, the bloodthirsty dragon raised its head. He roared at the three of them. The three were instantly splashed with the viscous fluid from the bloodthirsty Tyrannosaurus's gaping maw. They were covered in it. They were almost blown away by the air current generated by the roar. Su Huan and Hua Hong looked at the sticky liquid on their bodies, both showing disgust and revulsion. It was Ji Meiyu who reacted most quickly, as if she'd anticipated it. Then the bloodthirsty Tyrannosaurus's voice came again. All right, I've completed the task the leader gave me. You can explore freely now. Immediately, the bloodthirsty Tyrannosaurus, with heavy steps, turned its head and left, simultaneously saying, after a month, I will track you down by your sense and send you back to the outside world. After the bloodthirsty Tyrannosaurus left, Hua Hong couldn't help but turn his gaze. His gaze shifted to Jamayu, who was drenched. Jamayu took a towel from her combat backpack, and wiped the sticky liquid from her face before speaking first. Each faction's gathering place should have a road pass. Let's split up and explore separately. Hearing the sound, Hua Hong immediately pulled his thoughts away from Ji Meiyu's figure, and replied, that's exactly what I intended. Following Ji Meiyu's suggestion, Su Huan and the other two headed off in different directions towards their respective gathering points. They went towards the directions they had previously explored. Actually, since meeting Lu Yu last night and returning, Su Huan has been thinking about how to hide the secret of the treasure-hunting beast, but he hasn't found a good way. Hearing Ji Meiyu's suggestion today, Su Huan almost wished he could lift this girl from Red Scorpion Town high into the air. He wanted to lift her high. He had to marvel at this timely help. Not long after, led by the treasure-hunting beast, Su Huan and the dragon serpent lizard arrived at a small waterfall. Below the cascading waterfall is a pool of water nearly 100 meters in length and width, its depth unknown. Su Huan couldn't help but ask, treasure beast, are you sure that thing is located here? Hearing this, the treasure beast immediately floated in midair, enraged. Pointing ahead, it kept making malu malu sounds. Seeing this, Su Huan quickly gave a nervous smile and reassured. Guanguan comic explanation, how could I not believe you? Guanguan comic explanation, lead the way. When Su Huan saw the information recorded in the book, he couldn't help but secretly feel surprised. Comic explanation, it clearly says, molting grass likes shade but needs a dry environment. He glanced around and couldn't help but feel puzzled. But this place doesn't seem dry at all. Led by the treasure-hunting beast, the man, thus began a month-long treasure hunt. According to the booklet's description, Su Huan was looking for something that grew in a shady valley. The location was specifically marked, but Su Huan, guided by the treasure-hunting beast, had already passed that valley. The treasure-hunting beast floated and flew in the air, leading the way ahead of the dragon serpent lizard. Su Huan couldn't help but silently complain to himself. Ever since this guy digested the levitation stone and learned to float and fly, he hasn't liked being held very much. But the treasure beast's plump and round body, even its flying speed, wasn't as fast as the Longshi lizard running on the ground. Su Huan trailed behind, grumbling to himself, over 20 Jin, holding it for so long, is really quite tiring. Just then, the Longshi lizard beneath Su Huan suddenly let out a dragon's roar. It pulled him back to his senses. Su Huan quickly looked up towards the distance. He immediately showed a look of surprise. What's going on? There seems to be more to this place than meets the eye. The dark and damp mountain ravine finally came to an end. The scene suddenly opened up. All he could see was a desolate wasteland. Su Huan couldn't help but silently ponder. The dry environment, and the inattributed water flow. Perhaps there really is. Then, the treasure beast led Su Huan and the dragon serpent lizard to a place above a waterfall where only a thin stream still flowed down. Suddenly, the treasure beast kept making malu malu sounds, looking very excited. Su Huan was startled by the sound. Quickly follow the treasure beast. Immediately, the treasure beast descended from the air. It flew to the edge of the pool. It raised its paw, which was covered in golden fur, and gestured. It pointed towards a rock. The rock was hidden beneath the waterfall and partially obscured by the cliff face. Su Huan stared intently in the direction the treasure-hunting beast indicated. His expression suddenly changed drastically. That's molten grass. In the Black Lantern Fort Elders records, they call this thing molten grass. But this thing is also mentioned in the ancient dragon canon. But it's the famous transforming dragon grass. Transforming dragon grass is a rare object born under specific conditions from the dragon marrow of a fallen giant dragon, after thousands of years. If a species with weak dragon blood lineage consumes it, there's a chance it will transform into a type of dragon called a jiao. And the older the transforming dragon grass, the probability of its transformation into a dragon increases. Light, pale, purple, deep, dark. It changes color every 10 years. It grows a new leaf every 7 years. Su Huan immediately went to the rock right below the waterfall. The wavering mosquito plant, showered by the cascading water, had not only grown 7 leaves, but was also a pure, vibrant purple. There isn't even a single patch of green. Su Huan looked at the jiao jiao grass, his eyes immediately lit up, and he exclaimed, I've encountered a top-grade jiao jiao grass this time. That senior who collected jiao jiao grass before. His spirit beast was only in the late growth stage. A snake-type special-class danger species with a faint dragon bloodline. After absorbing and digesting the huajiao grass, and after molting, its growth stage leaped to a higher level. From barely at the late growth stage, it reached maturity. Su Huan's heart burned with excitement. This top-grade huajiao grass, just by eating one, the Longshi lizard's strength would likely make a quantum leap. But just then, a sudden croaking sound was heard. Su Huan was instantly shocked upon hearing it. This man, under the guidance of the treasure-hunting beast, he unexpectedly found the transformation grass, which could allow dragon-type soul beasts to transform into dragons. But just as he was excitedly preparing to claim the transformation grass, a frog croak like muffled thunder suddenly came from a distance. The moment the croak sounded, the treasure-hunting beast suddenly threw itself onto Su Huan's head in a panic. The treasure-hunting beast's panicked expression. Su Huan immediately shuddered. He quickly asked, What's wrong? Is there something terrifying in this pool? Su Huan knew that the treasure-hunting beast's premonition of danger was almost equal to its amazing treasure-hunting ability. He instantly regained his composure from the fervent longing. He abruptly shouted towards the dragon snake lizard, Something's wrong. Dragon snake lizard, run. As soon as he finished speaking, the dragon snake lizard immediately used its speed boost skill. With a sudden leap, it spread its wings and soared. It flew straight towards the waterfall above. After finding a hidden place to hide, Su Huan and the Longshi lizard stealthily poked their heads out to observe. Meanwhile, a rumbling sound suddenly came from the ground not far away. A golden frog's paw landed heavily. Su Huan's heart immediately felt a surge of pressure upon seeing this. I was careless. Where the transforming dragon grass grows abundantly, many creatures of the dragon lineage lurk nearby to hunt and protect the huajiakeo until it matures, hoping to devour it. Then, a rustling sound came from the nearby mountain.